Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita live stream of November the 11th, 2022. Manga Alita and movie Alita Revisited, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek from Denver, Colorado. And with me, our co-host is Angelus. He's from Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. How's it going, Angelus?
Currently being enamored by the picture in front of me.
Yes. All three of them are nice. And we have Chaos Nova from Mentor, Ohio. How's it going?
Doing some fixes on my edits, but I'm here on the chat.
Nice. And we have Lee from Fountain, Colorado. How's it going, Lee?
Not too bad.
Excellent. So you guys, I guess, are hanging in there with winter coming, right? Except for you, Angelus. It's I guess it's probably fall for you, isn't it? I guess. Or no, is it not fall but spring? I guess.
No, he's muted.
He is muted. Yes, he does that sometimes. So, yeah. How's everything in Ohio there, Chaos? You guys getting some pretty cold weather? And I think he's.
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, we are. It's raining, but we've gotten the freezing temperatures by this point.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Yeah. How about down there in Fountain? Your weather's probably similar to ours up here in Denver, I guess. We had some really, really cold weather. I mean, the weather's nice. For sure, it's clear, but it got down to like 19 degrees Fahrenheit, which I guess is around, it's below zero there, I guess, in Celsius, probably around 10 below, I guess, something like that, Celsius. I mean, yeah, Celsius.
Got some little bit of ice, but seems to have warmed up and melted it for the most part, but still chilly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really warm.
Hey,
here.
Bloody.
Hey, guys.
Hey. Yeah, Vladdy's from the Shires there in England.
Yeah, in southwest England, it's like 17 degrees or something today, and it should be like under 5 for this time of year normally.
Wow. Are you in Devonshire or below?
No, I'm in Oxfordshire.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I know where that is because some years ago I kind of went up the M1, up to Scotland, came over to to the other side to the West Shore and came down the M6, all the way down to Mousehole and all the way back to London. It's pretty cool.
I think I used to head up the M1 to go to my grandparents up in Yorkshire and Newcastle.
Oh yeah, Newcastle. Yeah, that I have some fond memories of that place. We actually went to one of those medieval dinner things. It was like a castle. Yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, my grandma used to always take me shopping there. She was obsessed with the sales.
Well, you know where Hunstanton is, right?
Not really.
It's on the eastern shore up there. It's a little bit, I guess, east.
Rings a bell, but I can't remember ever visiting or anything.
Yeah, well, it's pretty neat.
How do you not know where things are over in the UK?
Yeah, it's a pretty small country, but I don't get around much.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't get around much either, and I live in the city, so go figure.
Well, Angelus, have you ever been over to Perth?
I have.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I got friends there.
Oh, nice. Okay. If anybody wants to come on the stream, there's the link. Just click on it, and we're going to talk about manga and movie Alita. We're gonna do a little bit different than we did. We did something like this about 7 or 8 months ago, but it's going to be a little different. And of course, I've already welcomed the guests. I always forget to click on this. But anyway, it is what it is.
Love that picture.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, just before we get going, I guess I want to remind everyone that we got that petition, and certainly everybody on this stream knows about the petition for sure. But hopefully folks that kind of watch the stream after after it becomes after we end it and stuff like that, and they watch it later, hopefully we could get a couple of new ones there that'll can sign it. But we added about 40 signatures over the past week, so that's about 6 a day. And I think that was as of about 1 o'clock today, my time. So so it's moving along. I mean, I wish we could get like a couple of hundred a day. That would be better, but
maybe it's airing in Spain today, so maybe it'll go for you tonight.
Yeah, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into the main topic, I guess. And certainly we've seen versions of this slide many times. And what we want to do here is kind of similar to what we did a few weeks ago. Hey, Maxie's out there. I love it. But we want to definitely, we're going to not consider all the bodies specifically, but we just want to make sure that, that folks know that there is a pretty big difference between the manga and the movie in terms of the number of bodies that Alita's in. I mean, in the movie, we only saw her in 3 bodies, but in the manga, she's in like 10 bodies. So, I mean, she's, as they would say, from a body perspective, the girl gets around, as they would say. Okay. So what we want to do here today, though, is we're going to look at some of the, different things that Alita can do in the bodies themselves. And basically what we want to consider today is, looking at the differences between movie and manga Alita, which we didn't do this the last time. We just kind of looked at the pictures and talked about them and stuff like that. But what we want to figure out is which, between movie and manga Alita, which is the better fighter, which is the better motorball player, and who has the most ooh-woo. So anyway, Angelus, we got that worked in there again. So, for the yeah. So anyway, any general thoughts about the difference between the manga and the movie, guys, in terms of those 3 categories there?
Well, from what I've read of the manga, not really that many differences in terms of fighting ability. And though maybe Uru's better in the movie.
Yeah, probably.
There's more color and detail in the movie, and I don't know, it just feels more Uru-y.
Yeah, she is pretty cute in the movie. Now she's cute in the manga too. There's no doubt about it. But I think I do agree with you to a degree. Even though the movie doesn't cover near as much as the manga does. Certainly, the manga is it's pretty deep, and it has a pretty wide breadth, of story. So, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead, Angelus.
And this is something that Vladdy might end up agreeing with too. In fact, I know he will, but he might be a little bit embarrassed to admit. But I think the movie Alita has the kind of uwu that none of the others have, in the context that you can, especially with the merch, you can like see, feel, and touch. Like you can engage so many more senses. Smell.
Yeah, to me, she smells like silicone to me now because of the bust.
But hey, Angelus, if you could take over for a couple of seconds, my dog is out there raising hell, so I got to let him in. So I'll be right back, guys.
So yeah, with the uwu factor, I think that's the thing that sort of sets movie Alita apart from all the others.
She feels more real, so there's more uwu connection.
And also, I mean, Landau said it best himself, but and many of the other Weta Digital folks, but they had to be photo real as a. Is it photo real, the term they use?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
To even with the Uncanny Valley, to make the movie sort of as successful as it is. So
she's got to be next to Christoph Waltz, and you've got to believe that she's real.
Yeah, I mean, even with the eyes, like there's enough.
Eyes? What eyes? What do you mean?
Those big, beautiful brown eyes.
They just look like eyes to me.
Brown eye girl, sorry, breaking out into song just randomly, but yeah. So, like I said, to sum it all up, you just engage so many more senses, or you're capable of engaging so many more senses with movie Alita and, with the specific example of merch. I mean, have you even tried, maybe spraying a bit of perfume or something around the bust, or?
Oh God, I wouldn't do that. Anything that could like, I don't know, that might leave a permanent thing on her. I don't want to do that.
That's true.
Okay,
So
no, just try. I try and keep anything that might do something like that well away from her.
Okay, I came in on the end of that conversation. Something about spraying perfume on Alita's bust. I didn't. That's.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be spraying her with perfume anytime soon. I like the way she smells already. Give her a good Joe Biden sniff.
Oof.
Oh God. Get out of here.
Yeah, now don't get on us Americans too much there now, Vladi. So
Joe Biden.
Okay.
Oh my God.
because we can make some jokes about Boris Johnson, but I mean, of course, he's
Oh
gone.
God, no! All right, let's move away from politics.
Yeah,
Now I'm depressed
yeah,
because you mentioned ours.
Yeah, we don't want to get into politics here, I think. So
Mm.
anyway, what did you guys talk about on these three categories? Any general thoughts about them?
Well, we've already covered the ooh, I reckon.
Yeah, especially the part about the perfume on her bust. But anyway,
Well, Motorball, in the manga, as far as I've read, she doesn't have a specific Motorball body, does she?
well, actually, she does.
Oh, does she?
Oh,
Did I forget?
Yeah, it was
no.
built by Umba, I think.
Oh, that's
Consider-
separate
Yeah.
from the Berserker body, is it?
Yes,
Yeah,
Did she use that in the whole Jashigun arc?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
The
I forgot
body
that.
she had been using when before she got into Motorball, she had her manager, I think, Ed, put it in
Mhm.
storage
Oh, yeah.
for her,
Yeah.
and it stayed there for the entire Motorball arc until he ended up selling it because he was trying to sort of force her to stay in Motorball to sort of live out his dream of the championship through her.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
As Doc
Oh.
is his name in actually his name in the manga, but yep, Ed for short. Yeah, that's right. Ed's right for short, but I think in the manga they called him Doc. I think.
Yeah, I think it was like Esdoc Motors was the company.
Something
he,
like
owned or
that.
something.
Yeah,
Gives
that's
a new-
right.
Gives new meaning to the term motivating. Instead of motivating, you're motorballing.
Something like that. Yes.
Okay. Mind out of gutter, David.
That's
Mind out of gutter.
right. Yeah, for sure. Well, hell, my mind was in the gutter when I heard that y'all were spraying perfume on Alita's bust. I was going, holy crap! I came in at the right time.
Well, surely you would have thought that you knew that she would have meant just a little bit on her neck in the not anything dodgy.
Yeah, that's
what I was
right.
thinking of.
But as I said, she smells pretty good already.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we hit these three pretty well, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through some slides for each one of these three categories right here, and then kind of discuss while we're going through the slides, what each slide is, and at the end of that group of slides, we'll talk about whether the first group she's a better fighter, which version of her is a better fighter, which version's a better motorball player, which version's got the most ooh, and that's going to be the coolest one, I think.
Yes.
Okay. We know that both from the manga and the movie. Now, once she gets past that first, couple of minutes or first 20 minutes or whatever, because, at first in the movie, she doesn't really know who she is. She didn't know anything about her past, that kind of thing. And she surprises herself with her ability to fight, I think, and especially in the alley scene, it's like, holy crap, look what I did type thing, Whereas in the manga, it's not as clear cut, I think, as it is in the movie like that, But I think in both, she will fight. I mean, she doesn't run from a fight in either version. You know, she will fight you, you know, for sure. If you want to fight, she'll fight you, you know.
Yeah, they really nailed that part of her character in the movie from the manga.
They did. Yeah, they did. So
Yeah,
anyway,
like,
go ahead, Angel.
a lot of us sort of, you know, rightly so, shy away from confrontation, whether we're capable of it or not. You know, we don't want to pick a fight. We don't want to waste time or effort, sort of thing. We don't want to risk getting in trouble in the law if we go overboard.
Yeah.
And but you know, if like it only needs to be going from push to shove in just a split second, and the leader is just gonna just be all over it, and she's not afraid of doing so as well, especially for the right reasons.
Yeah, I mean, she's not. It's like you say, she doesn't have that trepidation, does she? She doesn't. I mean, she does have some fear, you know, in both the movie and the manga, but I think she uses it as a tool to improve her ability to fight, you know. But I think it's like, well, it's like Ito said in the movie, you know, and I think the same applies to the manga, you know, she's drawn to conflict, you know. So, I mean,
without hesitation.
Yeah, that's right. Without hesitation. That's right. You know, and as he said, you know, that's, you know, part of her training, you know, type thing, you know. So, yeah, I think, you know, she's not going to run from a fight. You know, I mean, I guess she would, depending on the circumstance, but I would say mostly she's not going to run from a fight. She's not going to do that, you know, particularly if her friends or loved ones are at risk. You know, she's not going to do that. She's going to spring into action. We saw that in that alley fight, didn't we? I mean, you know, certainly Ito, he was going to be, well, he's going to be chopped meat. You know, if Alita hadn't have been there, he'd have been goner, you know?
Yeah, it's also partially because she was having doubts about his own, like she thought he might be the killer. So I think that also played into her like decision. Oh, I can't believe I thought that about him. Now I have to defend him for everything.
Yeah,
so maybe it's my fault that he's in trouble because I distracted him or something.
But I think she does have feelings for him for sure, you know. So I mean,
yeah, well, he brought her back to life. So.
Yeah, that's right. So you know, she's gonna certainly, you know, have some kind of gratitude about that, I would think, you know. So. Any other thoughts about her willingness or readiness to fight? Chaos, you got any thought about that? You or Lee, either one?
Not in my end.
Does Chaos know he's muted?
He's probably stepped away because he's got his kids there and stuff, you know. So that's that probably you know, presents some obstacles for him sometimes when he's on streams, I think. So.
Not that it matters, but because she still, you know, jumped into the fight regardless. But in the manga, she didn't hesitate in going after Koyomi. And in all fairness, she didn't hesitate jumping down the hole chasing after Gruishka.
That's right.
But using the alley fight there as an example, you know, again, while she didn't hesitate, she, you know, looked like she almost felt like she was out of sorts. But again, when it came to the canvas bar fight, you know, she knew exactly what she was doing.
Yeah.
She was confident in doing exactly what she was doing, which is a marked difference.
And you know, that for her, I think that was an instinctive kind of feeling because she still didn't have all her memory, right? So, I mean, I guess she had an idea at some point, okay, I know how to fight. Yeah, Ito has told her that she knows Panzerkunst, you know, and she probably before that she didn't know what it was. She just knew she had these instinctive techniques that she could use to defend herself, you know. And for me, it was like, okay, she's got this instinctive kind of confidence that is based on her, you know, she knows what her abilities are. You know, to me, the only thing I would say is that she can be at times a little bit impulsive, because most people would have probably not jumped down that hole. they would have let Gawishka go down there and say, okay, I'm going to fight you another day because I don't know what's down there, But I think her confidence is so great that wasn't an issue for her. She just, I guess in her mind, she just knew that, she was going to, do what she had to do, and I'm going to go do it.
I think part of it might also be she's got a drive to fight. I mean, she really enjoys doing it.
Yes, she does. She does enjoy fighting, so.
And there's also that deep-seated part of her that actually enjoys the bloodshed.
Yeah, something that she hadn't quite come to terms with yet when she fought those cyborgs in the alley, or were they androids? I don't know which, but
they're cyborgs.
Yeah, because I know
no androids in the movie.
Only cyborgs.
What is Gawishka? Is he a cyborg for sure?
Yeah, he's a cyborg.
Yeah, he's a former motorball paladin.
Wasn't it just the Centurions who maybe?
That's right. Yes. Yeah. The Centurions are definitely. Well, I wouldn't call them androids because androids are humanoid.
Yeah, they're fully robotic under the control of the factory.
They're robots. I think.
Yeah. So, like the difference between android and cyborg is like one is AI robot, the other is human or like biological computers.
Yeah, and I guess in the future, of course, here. AI can attain sentience, I guess. And the difference, I guess, between an android and a robot, particularly those like the Centurions, that they're both, they're both robots, but I guess an android's like a special subcategory of a robot in that it's humanoid, or it kind of mimics human appearance or something like that. So. Okay, any more thoughts on her readiness to fight?
She's always ready. She never turns back.
That's right. Well, it's like when she went in to apply for her to become a hunter warrior, and she went through those big doors. She didn't know what was on the other side of those doors, but she wasn't worried about it, was she? When those Centurions were kind of looking at her, she just looked at them like, yeah, you come to me and I'm going to take care of you. That's kind of the look she had.
That's why Rosa Salazar is so perfect, because she's just like that. She's not just.
Yes.
You sort of like come from nowhere, but she's just always like up for it.
Yes.
She'll do whatever it takes.
Our girl will definitely do that. No doubt about it. Okay, now here's a couple of places where I guess they had some, where they drew out of the manga. I mean, her doing this double flying side kick that she does. I know and Angelus, you're more of a contemporary in martial arts than I am, but I know when I was in martial arts, the only thing even close to this was the drop kick, which is more of a wrestling move than it is a karate move, and that's kind of in a way what that looks like, except that she actually travels a big time different distance through the air to pull that off. And you can see in both of those, in both of those panels there, that her body, all of it is engaged in the kick. In other words, it's flying, toward the target. Whereas a drop kick is more of a, you stand somebody up in front of you and you jump up and you kick them that way, so you're not really doing, so it's in that way, it's kind of like a flying side kick, except she's doing it with both legs. So, Angelus, do you know of any karate move, like any style that uses this kind of this technique right here?
Not so much a style as just like a sort of situation if it calls for it.
Yeah, because
I mean, you see it a lot in. I know you see it a lot in movies, but
yeah,
it's just when I say that when the situation calls for it, it's like if you've got the time to athletically pull it off fast enough before the opponent can react, you know, it's like a normal front kick or a normal flying kick, but you're using the force with 2 legs instead of 1. So
Yeah. And I don't know of any technique that teaches a double flying side kick. I mean, not even Kyokushin karate or
maybe Taekwondo, but
perhaps, but yeah, perhaps, but I don't know. You know, I think it's a stretch, you know. But, you know, I guess they did draw on this, you know, for the movie. They did draw on her double, that kick she put on Nisiana, you know, which decapitated her. So this thing's got to have some force behind it because, you know, to decapitate particularly a cyborg like this with a kick, there's got to be a lot of force behind that thing, because that would be a tough thing to do even with a human, you know, decapitating the human. Now, granted, she is up against that wall, you know, but, you know, with a cyborg where we're talking about metal parts and stuff like that, gosh, that's got to be order of magnitude type of power over what a human, I think, would be able to pull off, you know. So
well, I think that plus the well, whatever that maneuver was, I think it was an axe kick.
yes,
when she took Grushka's arm off.
Yeah.
And that's her severing body parts twice in the same fight, basically.
Yeah.
So there's
Well,
there's like a lot of focused force behind each of those strikes.
Yeah, Finestro says a roundhouse kick from Chuck Norris. Yeah. Yeah. You know, there's a joke about Chuck Norris, you know, nobody can run with scissors except Chuck Norris. Everybody else is in danger when he runs with scissors, not him.
well, you know what they say, everyone checks under their bed for the boogeyman, and the boogeyman checks under their bed for Chuck Norris, and
Yeah,
Chuck
that's
Norris
right.
checks under his bed for Alita. So
yeah, that's right. But you know, axe kick though, that is a technique that some styles teach. You know, I mean, I know when I was in Kenpo karate, the version there's like 3 or 4 different strains of Kenpo karate, and the Kenpo karate I took was not the Ed Parker Kenpo karate, you know, but that, you know, we did the axe kick, you know, but it wasn't like a flying thing like she did against Grushka, you know. I mean, I guess you could jump up and kind of pull it off, you know, but yeah, I think I calculated that her axe kick on Grushka in the alley was like 20,000 pounds of per square inch or something like that.
Yeah, I think that would snap a human leg.
Yeah, it would. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
you
it's
could
definitely an indication of just how specialized it is for a cyborg body.
Yeah. Well, and her, this case, she was in the doll body too.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that berserker body would probably be able to deliver more of a, you know, power, you know, on a kick like that. So, so I don't know. When you look at both of those, they both look equally effective, don't they? I mean, you know, that axe kick she's doing from that not axe kick, that flying double side kick she's doing on that other cyborg there seems to be doing the job, you know.
Yep.
So as is the flying double flying side kick she's doing on Nisiana in the movie, you know. So I would say both of those are probably pretty close to equivalent, I think, you know. Now I don't know, I can't remember what body she's in here in the manga. I don't know if that's her doll body or if that's her berserker body.
That was the doll body before she got ripped in half.
Okay, so
And the thing is, in the manga, Makaku just grabbed both ends of her and just pulled it in half. Like, you know, it wasn't a slicing.
Yeah. So yeah, so in this case, they're both the doll bodies. So they both look like they're probably pretty similar in power and ability and stuff like that. It kind of looks like to me they are anyway. So I know that's flying sidekick she did on Romo, because I mean I kind of looked at the frames, you know, in the you know, in the movie when I was looking one by one, and she actually jumped about 30 feet through the air. I mean, no human can do that, you know. So, and that was just a kick with 1 foot, you know, or 1 leg. Any thoughts about this, the comparison in these two guys? Anything I may have missed here?
I just love how brutal it is, the way her head just flops down. I mean, her body flops down and then her head's stuck there for a second.
Yeah, God.
Oh, I think it was stuck there for a good bit because it was like embedded in the wall or door, whatever that was.
Embedded in the cement of the wall. It's so brutal. I love it.
Yeah.
So, okay, this isn't your typical like PG-13 Marvel movie.
Well, I think it was like her mantis arm went into her head, pinning it in like a nail.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely. Nisiana didn't stand a chance, even in her doll body. I mean, even though she had those 2 blade weapons, it didn't matter. Now because she was trying. Remember, she was trying to stab her on the ground. She couldn't get her. You know, I mean.
Yeah,
so,
someone. I think someone did a tweet which compared. There's like it's reminding me because the guy who did the voice for Batman died today or something. What was his name again?
Why is this not working?
Oh, really?
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, I think someone tweeted a few days back, and it looked so similar. I think it was from that show where he was rolling on the ground, avoiding it in like the exact same way Alita was avoiding Nisiana's blades.
Yeah, well, she also did that in the anime too. You know, when
I wonder which came first. Not sure.
I'd say the manga came first, but I don't recall. Maybe that was in the manga. I don't remember.
Mm.
But you know, in that fight with Clive Lee, you know, she actually messed him up with a bolt of lightning. So. You know, I think she was in her berserker body when she did that, though. So when she killed Clive Lee, you know, so. All right, guys. Any other thing about this particular technique here? The differences between them? It looks like they're pretty similar. I mean, in terms of
the good thing about the movie is it captured a lot of these things really well.
Yeah, it did.
From the manga.
Yeah, it did. Here's another one. This is also pretty similar. Now, I think Chaos, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that panel on the left there from the manga, that's when Makaku had pulled her apart, right? And she still rammed her hand in his eye, even. So.
This is actually from later when Zapan's having flashbacks and when she hit him in the face.
Oh, okay.
He sees the motorball on the TV, and then he remembers how she hit him in the face earlier when it came to Hugo, and he freaked out about it.
Yeah.
So on the left it was the berserker body, but it was similar with Makaku, except for the fact that Makaku caught her in the air, grabbed her leg, pulled her legs and her torso with different hands, and just pulled her apart that way.
Yeah. So this one, you probably would say her attack on the left, being in the berserker body, is probably going to be more powerful than the one on the right. Plus, the attack on the left is good. She can use plasma with that. You know, so imagine getting that knife hand with a hand that's enveloped with plasma.
Oof.
You know,
like
oh gosh, man. I mean, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't even feel it. It would probably be much less painful, actually.
Yeah, because plasma is going to be, of course, the temperature can vary greatly, you know, but it's probably going to be at least 4,000 degrees, if, you know, probably Fahrenheit, you know, and it's, you know, could be as much as like 10 or 11, 12,000, you know. She doesn't have that on the right over there. She's in the doll body, so she don't have any. You know, she doesn't have the plasma weapon in that body. So
all she has is her strength of will.
Yes. Now, I will say this about her on the right. I mean, not that she'd want to fight her Uncle Creek, but if she was mad at you, even in her doll body, you know, being if you're a meat boy and you want to fight her, I would advise you not to do that because she could really,
You just
she
do
could
whatever
mess.
she said.
Oh yeah, yeah, she could mess you up big time, even in that doll body. You know, because she's stronger than most humans in that doll body. So you know, and she knows that Panzerkunst. So you know, in that body, she could probably compete in MMA and win. You know, more than likely. You know.
Do you have that MMA picture?
No, I don't actually. Not in the presentation here. So why have you got it up, Angelus?
I know I could probably look for it. Hang on.
So, and someone could probably find a weakness, a human, possibly to her doll body. It's obviously not built for combat, is it?
Yeah, well,
there
it's
might
not
be
built.
weak spots. You never know.
Yeah, it's not a. It's that's right. You don't know, you know, because we didn't get enough about the doll body, you know, in the movie particularly. My sense would be though, since it's kind of it's kind of a advanced kind of metal alloy of sorts, you know, and the fact that she could take Gorishka's arm off with a kick, you know, because she hit his shoulder where his arm was with the back of her. Yeah.
That wasn't the power of the body; it was the power of the mind.
That's right. You're exactly right about that. But the thing of it is, though, is that for her to do that kick, the material in the back of her leg is going to have to be able to withstand, you know, breaking metal like that. So,
yeah, true.
But your point's well taken. You know, I mean, you know, her training and her knowledge of Panzerkunst is going to be formidable for any human. Even if they tried to find a weakness, maybe they did. You know, maybe they could, perhaps, but I don't think it would matter. You know, particularly since she's got that antimatter microreactor heart, which gives her a ton of power. You know, so I think a human it'd be advisable for a human not to mess with her. You know.
Jake Paul versus Alita.
Yes. And if she was in a bar and you thought she was cute and you wanted to go up and introduce yourself and try to get to know her, and if she wasn't in the mood for that and she told you to move away, that's probably what you want to do. You know. Yeah. Kind of like Zapan found out, you know.
No, I'd be like, go on, have another go at her, just because I'd want to see him get beaten up by her.
Yeah. Did you find it there, Angelus?
No, damn it.
I think she had UFC on her uniform, so
She did.
yeah. So you could ask Professor Google, I guess. You know, you just type in Alita UFC or something. I don't know, for Professor Google, you know. So I guess Finestro says in the manga, you know, she has more destructive capability, I guess. I don't know about that. You know, I mean, in her doll body now, like Chaos says on the left over there, that's her berserker body. Yeah, that's going to be a lot more powerful than her doll body in either medium, you know. So
actually, I think I would agree with the manga version having more destruction, because they tend to do a lot of that over the top sort of anime style special attack type stuff.
okay.
That doesn't seem to be used in the movie. The movie seems to be more grounded in reality in that aspect.
Yeah. And also in the manga, you know, in the last order, she gets the Imaginos bodies. You know, nothing in the movie is going to compare with that. You know, I mean, that is seriously OP. You know, that all three of those bodies are just ridiculously OP. So.
It's a good point that you made, though. They do try and make things more grounded in the movie. You can't go too. They had a good balance between manga, anime, over the topness, but they kept it grounded. Like all the fighting felt weighty. So yeah, I'm not sure where they'll go with the Imaginos body. They might not make it too OP. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I think they'll make an Imaginos body. I don't think we'll see three versions of it, or If you count the game, it's 4 versions. I just think if they do it, it'll just be the Imagino. They'll just call it the Imaginos body and make it maybe a little more powerful than the Berserker body, or something like that. They might do that, but
I'm just looking forward to Vitaly Volgarov's design.
Yeah.
Well, the big thing I'd say in the movie and the anime actually, is that they actually don't say the moves that they're doing. And that's, it's kind of cool when it happens in anime, such as say Dragon Ball Z or Fist of the North Star, but I don't know, it's different in film.
Yeah, or like even One Punch Man, multiple consecutive punches, saying it.
Well, at least Fist of the North Star says it in words in the TV series, which you haven't seen yet. We just saw the movie, but the TV series is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, I guess they're telling the audience what the technique is, I guess.
Yeah, it's in text. They don't say it out loud like Dragon Ball Z, but it happens.
Chaos, weren't you doing a watch along tonight or something?
That's tomorrow at 5, so I won't be on the other stream. But the good news about this is that in a future stream, Jerome, who was co-hosting for the Fist of the North Star one, he and I are going to do the live-action Alita film after Boys in the Hood and Excalibur. So.
Oh yeah, Boys in the Hood. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. The Boys in the Hood one.
Yeah, Chaos, send me a link when you.
I'll send you the thing for Boys in the Hood, the StreamYard. Okay.
Okay, that'll work. Yeah.
Jerome is the guy. I talked to him a little bit about Alita, and it's like, let's make our next hangout be Alita after Excalibur and Boys in the Hood. That should be cool.
Yeah.
He's a guest of mine. He has his own little channel on YouTube, but I'll get the link for Boys in the Hood, that hangout.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we all agree then that in this case, the manga is going to be a lot more powerful overall, because maybe the character Alita in the movie is not powerful. For sure she is, but they it's kind of like Lee was saying, they go a little bit over the top, I guess, in the manga, and plus in this particular case, this attack, she's in her berserker body on the left and she's in her doll body on the right. So. And
here I am stuck in the middle.
Yeah, that's right. Stuck in the middle with you. That's right. I didn't know you knew. That's a 70s song there, Angel.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's iconic from Reservoir Dogs, isn't
it? Yeah.
That plus my parents listen to it, pretty.
Oh, that 70s music takes me back, because I remember in the 70s I had mononucleosis real bad, and
70s music is the best.
I'm sorry?
70s music is the best.
It is good. There's no doubt about it. But I remember, I'd have to stay home in my apartment, and, because I couldn't go to work, and luckily I had a girlfriend that took care of me. But anyway, but I was pretty sick, for months, but anyway, that's another story. But that was, one of those back in the 70s, they had these automated music, type of radio stations, and they played the same thing every day. And I got to where I would know what the next song was when the current song was playing. I'd know exactly what it was, because I'd been laying in bed for so long listening to that music, But you're right. Yeah, 70s music is really good. So anyway, sorry about that. I digressed. So, okay. So the manga here is probably a little more powerful, because they do tend to write that over the top. This one. Now, we didn't really see enough of the plasma weapon in the movie, did we? We saw her use it on Grishka, and we saw her, kind of do it on her finger like that. But that's really the only two. Well, we also saw her in the factory, right, where she kind of chopped those damn Centurions into junk heaps, basically.
Yeah, and a few times she used the plasma. She used it in combination with the Damascus blade.
Yeah, that's right. So, but the fact that she could do it on her finger like that kind of suggests, even in the movie, that she can use that plasma weapon even without the Damascus blade,
Yep.
And in the manga, you see her using the plasma weapon frequently without the Damascus blade. And even in the anime, when she when she bisected Grisica, you know, that she would really kind of like did a karate chop on him, you know, from top of his head to, you know, between his legs, and split him in half, you know, and that she used her plasma weapon for that too, you know. You know, we didn't see enough, to me, to see how potent the plasma was in the movie compared to what it is in the manga, because in the manga it's pretty badass, you know.
Well, in the manga, I think she's able to pull off a few area of effect type stunts.
Yeah, and call down lightning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she certainly did that in the anime too, by the way, when she killed Clive Lee, you know. Clive Lee tried to, you know, kind of chop her in half with his sword, and she kind of grabs that sword and, you know, I guess positively charges him, I guess, with that plasma, and he just gets zapped by lightning, I guess. So, but yeah, I think from what we can see in the other two, we know they both have plasma, and we know instinctively the plasma is pretty badass. The fact that she cut through those Centurions like they were butter, and she cut through Gorwishka like he was butter, you know. I mean, that sword didn't seem to have any resistance behind it.
Do you think she even needed the plasma for that, though? Do you not think the Damascus blade could have just cut that without?
Possibly, I don't know. You know, maybe, because it does have a monomolecular edge. So I mean, possibly.
Yeah, I didn't even think about her using the plasma in both those situations, but she obviously did.
Well, whether what it would do without the plasma in that particular scene where she was using the plasma, there was it didn't seem like there was any hiccups or any kind of you know, hitches or anything like that. Her blade just went right through him. I mean, it was just continuous, you know, like without any interruption or obstruction. It just went completely through him in just you know, in probably just a few fractions of a second. You know,
there wasn't really much reason not to use the plasma. No kill, like overkill.
Yeah, exactly. You might as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure he's dead.
And there's no reason for Rosa to not do her scream like, yeah. She cuts through him.
God, that every time I see that scene, that thing raises the hair on the back of my neck. Boy.
Yeah, I love that scene with the music. It's pure catharsis because of all the way she struggled before with the grind cutters, and now she just slices through them like they're so easy. It's perfect like development of the character.
And how she jumps over those grind cutters and how she reacts when he throws them at her.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it was just like, I mean, it was just little to no effort at all for her to get out of the way of those things. So, you know, I mean, it's pretty badass scene that one was, you know. So,
and just like hearing all the people bitching about, you know, she's OP, or, you know, she's a Mary. We've all heard the arguments before.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just sitting there thinking, do you hear yourself right now? Because, you know, she's got the combat experience, she's got the knowledge, she knows what's coming, and she's more powerful, more powerfully armed as well.
And she's a cyborg,
like, how does she not kick so much ass?
Well, it's true. And in a way, but the trade-off is she doesn't save Hugo in the film, within the film story.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In that way, Jesse Nova kind of wins.
Yeah, he does. Now,
I think the thing that people need to understand on Mary Sue is it's meant to be a joke. It's a parody. Even A Truckie's Tale was meant to be a joke and just poke fun of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Or just how people fanfic Star Trek. Okay, so I mean, guys like Deadpool are kind of in that trope because they're meant to be a complete satire of just other superheroes.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely a parody of superheroes.
Yeah, and I'm just saying they make Deadpool so over the top, so unkillable, and so unmeaning to learn anything because he's a joke.
Well,
it's usually a comedy part.
Well, he even said that, didn't he, in the first movie? He said, "I may be super, but I am no hero."
Right. So, I mean, there was a little carrying away with the trope, but the whole Mary Sue thing is meant to be a joke. It's meant to be a parody, over the top parody or satire.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, just guessing, you know, to me, and I'll ask you guys too what you think, but for me, only because we haven't seen as much of its potential in the movie as we do in the manga. I would say her plasma weapon in the manga is more powerful, just from what we've seen. Now, you know, in the sequel, you know, maybe she will be able to call down lightning. You know, I don't know if Cameron and Rodriguez had let that happen, because that would be pretty OP right there. That'd be like,
I just can't wait to see that. That's going to look so amazing.
oh yeah,
She'll definitely do that. That scene with her holding her fist out like that, like you've got there, that's just going to look amazing in live action.
Yeah, you know, and if she in the movie, if she did call down lightning, that'd be so cool to see our girl in the movie calling down lightning like that. That'd be God, that'd send the hairs on the back of my neck up too, you know, probably. So So what do you guys think? Is just from what we know from the manga and the movie, would you not agree, or you could disagree about the plasma weapon in the manga appears to be more powerful than the plasma weapon in the movie?
I definitely say the manga version is going to be more powerful.
Yeah,
because we haven't really seen enough of it in the movie yet.
Yeah, now we may change our minds when the sequel comes out. We definitely might change our minds, you know, but what's really going to be interesting is it when I guess when Zapan, when he gets hold of Berserker body, will he be able to generate plasma? That'll be interesting, you know, in the movie, that is.
Who, sorry?
Zapan, you know, because in the manga, I'm sorry, I'm doing a spoiler here, I guess. Have you gotten that far yet, Vladdy? How far have you?
No, I've only read to the end of the Motorball arc.
Okay, well,
so the Japan arc is next, basically.
Okay, I'm going to shut up then, because you need to.
No, it's fine. It's obviously been too long. Actually, just accept the spoilers that come my way.
Yeah, so I don't want to spoil, because it's the Japan arc's pretty neat too, you know. So
he gets some plasma as well, does he?
No, I'm not saying anything.
Worse than just plasma.
What?
Much worse.
Much worse, as in stronger, or as in?
Yes, you can say that.
Okay. Yeah, I'd imagine his plasma will be a bit less refined than Alita's in a way.
Well, you'll see. I mean, you'll see how he is once he gets it. He's not recognizable.
I can also point you which section of the video game footage I've got.
Oh yeah,
he's a pan that way.
Alien creature or something.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
But you can see an animated version in the video game.
Yeah, someone on Reddit was saying they were like really happy with the fandom because the game had been translated. Is it definitely not been completely translated yet, Chaos?
I'm still going. Okay, so I decided to cheat and look at Zach Hack and Slash, but it's most of it. It's the part where you're on Earth up until the point where you get to Zalem.
Yeah,
that's how far it goes. So it's a much better than the previous version, which ended when Hugo died, so you got nothing new. But it's still not 100% of the game.
Oh, they should just finish it. It's so close now.
I wish Ripper's Anime had a tip jar like I did, so I could just send him something.
Yeah, we'd all send him a bit to finish it off.
Okay, so I guess we agree that the plasma, just based on what we see in the two mediums, because you can't really tell that much from the movie because she doesn't really use it that much compared to the manga. The manga is more powerful, I guess. The plasma weapon there appears to be more powerful anyway. Okay. Now here's one we didn't really see in the movie, her using the elbow blade, did we? All she did in that one is just kind of foreshadowed the fact that she can do the elbow blade, use the, a blade weapon, on the end of her, arm like that, or forearm. Whereas in the manga, Alita uses it quite a bit. And you can see there that with that blade weapon she has there, you can see the blood on so she sliced through something with that one, or somebody, My gut feeling is is that there's a couple of things. The elbow blade there was only, looked like it was only adaptable for the motorball body. And
Yeah.
I think on the left there, that's the Berserker body, I think.
Does that on the left, that doesn't attach to her, does it? Or what?
I'm not sure, Angelus or Chaos or Lee, do you know, is it attached to her
The one on the left, the manga picture?
yeah, is it attached to her wrist or what? I
No,
can't
that
tell.
one is she's holding it by some sort of a hilt there. I think it was the blade that she used in the motorball arc, and she
Okay.
held on to it. It was wrapped in that thing she's got in her mouth.
Ah.
And this is
okay.
when she was threatening to kill Nova the first time she ran into him because of what happened to Ito.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, she actually does kill Nova in the manga, but it doesn't matter because, well, we're spoiling it for Bloody, so I'm not going to say any more.
Yeah, those are the kind of big ones that worry me. I remember
Yeah.
one of the YouTubers posted a screenshot that like traumatized me, but then someone told me it was a dream or something. So I was like, okay, it's not that bad.
Well, she had a lot of those dreams, in
Yeah.
the manga like that, particularly when she was in that Ouroboros thing. She,
I couldn't sleep that night.
So anyway, she uses the elbow blade more in the manga than she does in the movie. In the movie, all she does is put the Berserker, or rather the Damascus blade on her forearm like that, so
Just a way of holding a weapon. It's not really.
Yeah, that's right. So, but she can use it. Now it doesn't show her using anything like that with her Berserker body. Yeah, that's a good point there, Lee. She's beyond angry there. She is enraged. I mean, she is in anger on steroids is what she is.
Yeah, I really want to see her like that in the sequel. Rosa would be so good at that.
God, yes, you would. Golly, that'd be great,
Just wanted to go like feral, like totally wild.
Yeah, just get medieval on their asses.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. She
Yeah,
kind of
she did in this in the original movie, but now she's more mature. She'll be more like in control of her wildness. That makes sense.
Yes.
So it will feel more brutal because it feels like she's less in control now than she would be if she does it in future.
Yeah.
I want to see her like bite some eyeballs and stuff,
Yeah. Well, one of the neat things about it too is if depending on how many movies we get, it seems to me that if we got like a third and a fourth movie, let's say, I'm
going to get at least 3.
That she is going to be even more mature in those, particularly if she gets those more advanced bodies, and to see her go off the rails, in one of those like an Imaginos body, God Almighty, that would be epic right there. That would be
God, yeah, I'd just be like, oh my God, Alita, I love you.
Yeah, I got to see this. It'd be like that when I first saw her ram her hand in Garishka's eye. I fell in love with her right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, God Almighty, I mean, who could do that? I mean, you're all chopped to bits like that. You're less than half a person, but you still can muster up enough strength to ram your hand in that opponent's eye. She could have killed him there if she'd have just where she had her hand in his skull like that and if she could have grabbed his brain or something like that. And,
Never thought of that.
Yeah. And there was another scene in that fight where that big rock falls in front of him. If that had fallen on him, that would have killed him, So she almost, even though she lost that fight, she damn near won that fight, really. So
yeah, you're right. You thought you would have thought that would have gone into his brain and killed him, but
with the size of his head, I think there was a lot of space between the eye socket and the actual brain compartment.
Yeah. Plus, I don't expect his brain to be particularly big. He's kind of a dumbass.
Yeah. Well, she could have kind of probed around inside his head until she grabbed
Ah,
something.
that's making me feel ill thinking about that.
Oh, sorry about that. Oh, here's another thing from Finestro. You know that scene when she's with Yolgan and Figure 4, and they're in that side that build or on top of that building, you know, and that butterfly shows up and she just empties the entire clip of her weapon, you know, of her gun, trying to get that. And Figure 4 says, "What the hell was that?" You know, I mean, she really went off the rails trying to kill that butterfly with her gun. You know. Yeah, our girl's wild, isn't she?
Just a bit.
Yeah, I think so. Now, Lee, I didn't get a chance to read chapter 3, but I'm gonna get to it. I really want to see how you do her in what's chapter 4. I think is what you told me.
Well, she doesn't really do any real fighting in front of the main character until chapter, I think 15 or 16. That's when he actually gets to see her play motorball.
Ah, okay. So anyway, I got something to look forward to then. Cool. Yeah. Okay, so I guess we've determined that just basically what they've shown us in the manga and what they've shown us in the movie. The elbow blade is more of a we've seen more of its capability in the manga. So, oh, another thought too. Not this is an elbow blade thing, but in her Imaginos body, particularly at 2.1 body, she can materialize blades. You know. And like she did with those wings, those were all Damascus blades. So imagine that. Yeah. So I would say in the manga, much more powerful, I think, in terms of blade weapons like that. And then, of course, this is a little bit of the same thing. In terms of the attack itself, though, the Damascus blade itself is different in the manga than it is in the movie, obviously. I mean, it looks more like a sword, you know, in the movie. Whereas in the
manga one's like a giant switchblade.
Yeah, that's right. You know,
Flick enough.
So
there was a blacksmith put a video on YouTube. He actually made a real life version of the manga Damascus.
Was that Shadiversity?
No. It was this other guy. He actually forges weapons by hand.
Ah, I think I saw that on YouTube because it looked very much like it looked like the Damascus blade in the manga, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he did learn that unless you're real careful with it, it can slip out of control real easy because the way the hinges at the base of the blade are put together. It can, it's hard to describe. If the handle comes apart, it's like the blade can go all over the place.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. It's so big for a switchblade. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah. And it looks like there on the left, she's in her tuned body.
Yeah.
And on the right, she's in her berserker body. So in her tuned body, she doesn't have that plasma weapon, so she can't envelop the Damascus blade in the manga with the plasma weapon, whereas she can do it in the, you know, in the movie. Now, if in her berserker body in the manga, if she did grab a hold of that Damascus blade, I am so sure she could envelop that thing with plasma just like she could in the movie, you know. So. What do you think, though? Do you think a Damascus blade attack in the manga or the movie is more, how would you say, potent, I guess?
I'd say the movie, because it's got the blade is actually built to be used with her plasma weapon.
Yes.
Whereas the Damascus blade she's got in the manga is basically just a specially forged weapon that was designed for her.
Yeah, it's just a big knife is what it is. Yeah. Now, have you gotten to the point where she has that Damascus blade in the manga yet, Wadi?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, because that's the beginning of the Badlands arc, I think.
Yeah.
So you got a ways to go yet. So.
Yeah, I should probably read it soon.
So what do you think, Angelus? Which one of these blade attacks are more potent? do you think, the manga or the movie?
I'm gonna go with movie.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. It's her body can do more in the manga. Her blade can do more in the movie. That's, I guess, in a way, the best way I personally put it. And if someone can, I don't know, even argue has a more of a negative connotation. If someone can debate me that it's vice versa, then I'm open to discussion. But yeah, like as it stands, that's just, I guess, my limited thoughts on it, or thoughts based on my limited knowledge.
Yeah, plus that with the blade, even in her tuned body, I mean, that tuned body is pretty damn potent. I mean, it's probably as potent as the Berserker body, except she doesn't have that plasma weapon. So what do you think, Lee?
Well, I think she's real deadly with both of them, but
yes,
because of the ability to envelop the movie version in plasma, it's probably got a little bit more damaging capability.
Yeah, I think so.
But she's deadly with both of them.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Chaos?
I'd say it's slightly better.
Yeah. Okay, we have a consensus then. Lottie, I know you haven't read it yet, but just knowing that in the movie she can envelop the blade with plasma, and the manga she doesn't. So
what? Which one's more powerful?
Yeah.
Well, definitely the movie. I also prefer the design of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad they did that in the movie too. That is a really cool effect. We've had streams that. Oh, go ahead, Lee.
I was just gonna say, I always thought it was weird the way the blade looked in the manga. I was like, it's a giant switchblade. It's like that's just seem like a
someone
very,
who didn't read the manga first, I always thought it looked a bit weird looking at it after when I'd seen the because the Damascus blade in the movie is it's an elegant kind of old school shape, the way it curves.
it's like a saber.
It's like a nice old fashioned saber, but with like a modern twist with the like the electronic, what do you call them? The lines on the blade as well. It's all kind of modern and nice. It's already thought through well. But yeah, the giant switchblade for me always looked a bit off. But obviously, I understand manga fans obviously love it because they're like used to
the
it.
manga version is the first one I did see, but even then I was like, that's kind of a strange looking blade.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
she was effective with it.
Yeah, I kind of agree about because
it's still cool.
Yeah, I saw the movie first, and I thought when I saw the Damascus blade in the manga, I went, "Holy crap! What? I mean, that's weird looking knife."
Yeah, just imagine, like people
was pointing out it is more of a scimitar.
Yeah, that's right.
Scimitar, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to think of, and it just saber kept coming to me.
Yeah, that's right. Now, just to kind of divert a little bit. Now, you remember in her Imaginos 2.1 body, she can generate those Damascus blades, and in that body, she can also generate plasma. Mm-hmm. So think about those.
One of the things she does too in the one of the versions of the Imaginos body, she generates basically a shaped charge attack, and uses some of the material of her body to generate the explosive.
Yeah. Yeah, that Imaginos body is ridiculously over OP, I think.
Yeah, it's making me think of like the Terminator bodies where they can make like it's like metal that can like melt into like a blade sort of thing at the end, like can change shape.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of thing the Imaginos body can do?
Well,
can it just make any object that it wants?
Yeah, that's what she can do. Because that's
anything that she can imagine, she can create, but it can also change its properties as well, which is why she was able to create that explosive using the material of her own body.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's almost like Green Lantern, isn't it? Green Lantern, with that ring, he can, it's only limited by his imagination what he can do with that ring, And her Imaginos body, I think, is much more powerful than, Green Lantern and his ring, but it's a similar kind of concept, I guess, whatever she can dream up, I mean, think about this. What if she imagined or wanted to conjure
Imagine
up.
this.
Yeah, that's right. A dragon. You know, a freaking dragon. I mean,
Is that why it's called the Imaginos body?
Yeah,
you can imagine stuff.
That's exactly.
Oh, I didn't
right.
know that. I just cottoned onto that now.
Oh, bloody.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't read it. How was I supposed to know?
No, that's cool. I tell you, when you get to Last Order, Vladi, you're going to really enjoy that. I think, because I really enjoyed the Last Order a lot.
Yeah. Well, if Avatar 2 bombs massively, I'll definitely read it because I'll be like, oh god, we're never getting a sequel.
Yeah. Okay. Now this is just similar, you know. The only thing about this is the big difference. It's kind of like what we were talking about a while ago. You can see in the left how she's manipulating that blade. You know, I mean, the only thing you can see about it, it's curved, but only at the very end of the blade, whereas kind of the sword like weapon that Alita has in the movie is different. But you can see she's using it like a switchblade on the left right there. So, you know,
yeah, but it's so big, the handle, you've got to use two hands really, don't you?
Yeah. I would say that probably the blade, the Damascus blade on the left is harder to, I think it's easier to use the Damascus blade in the movie because it's like you say, it's more like a sword, you know.
Yeah, you can use one hand.
Yeah, but on the Damascus blade in the movie, in the manga rather, you know, it's you know, it's more unwieldy, you know, it's more, you know, difficult to use, more awkward, I say, you know.
Yeah, has Shadowversity done a video on the manga blade? I bet he'd be like, this is useless.
No, he's done one on the movie version, but
yeah. He said that was pretty much rubbish, didn't he?
Yeah.
He said he liked the design, but it wasn't like functional, I think, something like that.
Well, yeah, a couple of reasons. I mean, yeah, sure, it's a sword, but the problem is in real life physics is when you heat a blade, the tensile strength decreases and it's more malleable.
Yeah, I don't care about that. It looks cool.
Obviously, it's just comic logic.
The way she's using it.
Well, the stuff behind the blade was it was supposed to be made out of something that wasn't steel. It wasn't an earthly metal.
Yeah.
It was designed specifically to be used with a really high level of plasma heat.
Well, the one in the movie, yeah, the one on the left is not like that, though, right? I think the one on the right is more like that.
Yeah.
And the fact that when Alita kicked that blade towards the Pam, when she kicked his butt, you know, and rammed his ass into the, you know, drove him into the I guess the jukebox over there. You know that remember she kicked it up and kicked it at him. And it went straight through the air and went, you know, halfway into that concrete column.
Yeah,
you know?
Embedded right in, didn't it?
Well, Shadowversity, he was saying that the blade wouldn't be able to cut armor like butter quite that easily. It could cut through it, but because of the width of the blade and the wedge shape of the cutting edge, it could eventually get stuck in there.
Well, the only thing about that, I mean, he may be right with earthly metals. But you remember it was forged by, you know, the Erm.
There may be a sort of frictionless property to it, or reduced friction property to the
right.
Made of.
But also, too, part of it is just that, well, she's super, super strong. Regular people probably wouldn't handle them practically.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, real swords, and I've got some of these in real life, are only around 2 to 5 pounds. The Damascus blade butterfly knife thing that Alita uses in the manga would likely be, you know, heavier than that.
Oh, the scale version that one blacksmith made, I think it was about as heavy as a claymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was heavy.
Yeah, mandatory carry's got a good point here, and
maybe it was
this comes with the plasma, you know, that goes up. It's a superconductor. You know, so the plasma can flow up, you know, up to the tip, you know, so that's. No,
I don't think it was disposable because she uses it multiple times with the plasma.
Yeah, it's not disposable. So that suggests to me that plasma blade in the movie is made of some kind of special alloy that you know, that.
Well, with the nanotechnology they've got, they could have created a material of some sort that on the molecular level is harder and more flexible even than any steel we've got today.
Yeah. And plus, we don't know how the alloys, what kind of alloys they'd come up with in the future too. I mean, yeah, you're right. If it's made of nanotech itself, yeah, that it could adapt.
Well, I don't think it would be made of nanotech. I think it was made with nanotechnology.
Yeah.
And considering what you can do with nanites, it can be constructed on a molecular level to be, I think there was one science fiction story where they created a small object that was like a single molecule. It was basically indestructible.
Yeah.
Unless you hit it with some kind of disintegration system that broke down the bonds between molecules, then it would just completely evaporate.
Yeah, I guess Finestro says it's kind of like Thor's hammer and the movie version. Yeah, it is, but I would point out that Alita doesn't need that weapon, to take advantage of her plasma. So even without that Damascus blade, she could call down lightning, particularly in her Imaginos body. She could call lightning down without that sword, So yeah, I mean, but yeah, in that regard, it is similar. It is in the fact that it can also call down lightning. Yeah, it's very much like Thor's hammer for sure. Now, of course, whether you're worthy or not, yeah, I'm not sure about that one, So, yeah, that's right. The manga sword. Well, I don't know though. Mandatory carry. I think it is a lot more like a switchblade than the movie version is.
I think he might be thinking of a Naginata. It's like a polearm sword.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, it is kind of like that because it's got a really long hilt on it. So
yeah, but you see that hand.
Sure, but yeah.
You see where her right hand is holding it down the bottom there, that thing separates into two pieces. So.
Yeah, you can see
the pommel folds around the blade. So she flicks it's a butterfly knife. She flicks it, unfolds the
That's what I was trying to think of. Butterfly knife. It wasn't a switchblade, it was a butterfly knife.
Much bigger butterfly knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Claymore sized butterfly knife.
Yeah, I got them mixed up.
Mandatory carry says he flunked anime physics. Okay. Yeah, that. So anyway, I think we agree though that and even from the last slide, that the Damascus blade has got some in the movie has got some things going for it that it doesn't have in the manga. In that, you can, she can use it to generate plasma if she wants or whatever. Plus, it's easier to manipulate.
She certainly got a pretty evil look on her face in that manga picture.
Yeah, she's pretty pissed. I don't think I wouldn't want to mess with her when she is in that state, I would also see the one on the right. Yeah, she kind of had that key eye when she cut through Grishka, but she looks like she's in more control, doesn't she, than she does. Well, she looks like she's in control on the left. Yeah. But on the left, she does look pissed. On the right, she just looks like she's accomplished a mission or something.
The manga one, it looks like she's getting ready to get into a fight, and she's really looking forward to it.
Yeah, she's loving it.
Yeah, she is. Okay, and it's the same thing, I guess. We don't need to hit this too hard, but. I think we also determined that the Damascus blade in the movie is easier to use than the Damascus blade in the manga. I mean, probably anybody could probably, with decent strength. I don't know how heavy that Damascus blade is. I mean, we've had streams before where for her to be able to kick that thing 18 inches into a steel, column that would have to be pretty stout, that particular material and all that. So but we don't know what the material is, how heavy it is or how light it is. But it seems to me that a human could use a Damascus blade. Now they couldn't, I don't think they could generate plasma with it, because if they did, it'd burn their hand off for one thing. But on the left there in the manga, it's a lot more difficult to use. Although I would say in Alita's case, she is she does have superhuman strength, and of course now that's she has probably about the same amount of strength in her Toon body that she does in the Berserker body. And when you're that strong, whether something weighs, 10 pounds or 100 pounds doesn't matter, so she can probably manipulate either one. But I would say that a human could probably definitely use the Damascus blade a lot easier than they could use in the movie than they could in the manga, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the manga version, it's basically a claymore, and a human can easily wield a claymore. They just wouldn't be able to do it nearly as quickly or as
adept
easily, as Alita could, or any other stronger cyborg.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and her Imaginos body, I'm not sure there's too many cyborgs that's stronger than her. I mean, she kicked the shit out of Toji. She got that 2.1 body.
I think she kicked the shit out of everybody at that point.
Yeah, that's right. So, okay. So anyway, I guess we didn't see too much of her using firearms, in the movie. There is several places in the manga where she's used firearms. Look, she's got that BFG on the left. Up top there, and that's the one I guess. I don't know. Is that the same gun that she rested on Figure 4's shoulder, and she told him to stay, be still?
I can't remember.
Yeah. Now, I don't recall her in the manga, and it's been a while since I've read it, but I don't recall her firing a plasma gun in the manga. Maybe she has. I just don't remember. She does, when they were going up that supply tube trying to get to Zalem, that squad she was in, she is firing a plasma weapon right there. And you can see how potent that damn thing is. I mean, look at the explosion of that thing, that plasma coming out of the barrel, And of course, she has a pistol down there on the, on the lower left. And, I would say, I don't know how much that gun on the upper left, how much that weighs, but I know that Gatling gun on the right, at the lower right there, because I just from estimates that I was able to do, comparing it to military style. One thing I do want to do, though, is I want to compare that to an M61. That's because I compared it to a Gal 19, but an M61, that's a bigger Gatling gun. It's probably more on the same ballpark as what she's got there on the lower left. But that thing, from what I calculated, assuming that the density of the materials in the gun are about the same and all that, that thing weighs probably 600 pounds, and she's holding it with one arm, So, that's, and then firing that, that 100 caliber, it had like 4 barrels on it, she fired it for 2 seconds, so, assuming that thing would fire, let's say, if it fired, 2,000 rounds a minute, like a lot of Gatling guns can, then by holding it for 2 seconds there, she shot actually something like 65 bullets in 2 seconds, so. And that now we don't know how that gun kicks, I mean, they may have a self-stabilizing mechanism in it, that makes it easier to hold. But if it was like the regular Gatling guns we have today, and for her to hold it like that and fire it, God, her strength has got to be immense for her to be able to do that with one arm. So, and the same be true on the manga up there, that big gun. Now look at the size of her head compared to the barrel diameter. I mean, who knows how big that gun is? I don't remember. I don't know if they said how big that thing was, but those barrels, that's pretty big. You look at her hand; it looks like about the same size as from her knuckle to where her wrist is. That could be 3 inches. The barrel on that thing, it'd be a 300 caliber gun. I mean, that thing would be. I mean, to fire that damn thing, certainly that's got a kick, to it. So, but I think in the movie we didn't, we didn't see her using firearms that much, but I would say that they're about even, because the fact that she could hold that Gatling gun like she did tells me that, her strength at holding, firing that gun and all is comparable to what it is in the manga. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Just she'd be what's the word? Proficient in different types of firearms.
Yes. Well, that does show you, doesn't it, in both the manga and the movie, that she's, well, there in the movie, she's firing two different kinds of weapons. You know, that one on the bottom right is a projectile weapon. The other one's a plasma weapon. So, I mean, she knows her way around firearms, you know.
Yep.
We just didn't really get that big a taste of it in the movie. Hopefully in the sequel, we'll get that taste, you know. I know Den wants to see her using more guns in the sequel.
Yeah, all the Americans.
Yeah, because
like,
he's a gun.
all the guns.
Ah, that's right, mandatory carry. Well, I'm not a gun expert, and you are. Yeah, it is called a bore. That's right. Yeah, I remember.
What's
seeing
the bore?
this. That's just I guess it's the barrel itself. You know.
Oh.
So the bore on that weapon on the upper left looks to me to be about 3 inches. I don't know what it is, but
Bloody massive.
oh God Almighty!
That's one panel that Archilect often tweets.
Well, here's the thing about her use of firearms, how proficient she is, and of course that's also attributable to her strength. But the gun on the right, you know, if it, you know, I measured it. I stopped frames and measured it and compared it to her size, her and that kind of stuff. And I estimated a mandatory carry. Maybe you can correct me on this or give me a little more guidance in the chat. But I thought that the bore on that gun was 100 caliber. Now that has 4 times the kinetic energy. Each barrel on that gun has 4 times the kinetic energy of a 50 caliber. You know, assuming that the bullets are similar and all, you know, in terms of, you know, how they're put together and that kind of thing. We don't really know that for sure because you know they don't go into that too much in the movie. But you know, you look at that gun on the upper left, if it's got a 3-inch bore on it, as compared to the 1-inch bore on that thing there has got like 9 times the kinetic energy of that of the bore or the barrel on that gun on the lower of each barrel. Now that one on the lower right is going to be a Gatling gun. So, but you know, since it's and mandatory carry, maybe you know this, but I would assume that gun on the upper left, each individual bullet has about 9 to 10 times the kinetic energy when you fire that with that weapon as compared to each barrel on that Gatling gun. Maybe I'm wrong. Finestro says, yes. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Well, I am laughing. So, yeah, but I think you do know more about guns than I do. That's for sure. The only gun I've ever owned in my life was a 12-gauge shotgun, and my little brother sold it for pot money. So anyway, that's I wanted to kill him after that. But anyway,
yeah, I'm in England. So the only gun I've ever owned is like a Super Soaker.
Ah,
I grew up around guns.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we're barely like legally able to carry like a spoon in public.
Well,
Yeah,
it was, I was at the Boy Scouts, and part of that is you learn how to handle them as part of that. That and my father's a veteran, so both of those put together.
Yeah, I'm like Lee. I grew up around guns too. My grandfather had a gun. My father had guns. My grandfather had guns. Even anything all the way down from a 410 shotgun. It's like 4/10 of 0.41 inches. That's what the bore is on that one.
We've been completely disarmed here.
Yes, we are, so to speak. Yeah, down to a 10-gauge shotgun, which, or actually, I think my grandfather had an 8-gauge. I mean, that ridiculous. So anyway, we had a bunch of guns, but anyway, I learned to shoot those guns. That's for sure.
To stay on the subtopic of guns, but keep it to Alita, let's not forget to take into account the availability of the weapons as well, ammunition. Like, you'd more readily find a pistol, or is it a Browning or something like that? No, it would be something else. That you
What,
have.
Browning 45?
Yeah, but either way, you know, you'd more readily find bullets and a gun, a handgun like that, than you would, you know, the Gatling gun, which is obviously only attached to the Centurions, or at least.
Right. I mean, it's for the military where they can resupply with more ammo like crazy. But for most people, it's not practical because it's just so expensive to have that much ammunition on you.
Guns are outlawed in Iron City.
Yeah, in the manga is a guns outlawed as well.
Yeah.
How did she get all the guns?
Yeah. Well, within the city,
Within the city, it is. Yeah,
but factory militia later on, which is the soldiers, they have them.
Well, not in the Badlands, you know. I mean, you know, you have a lot of guns out in the Badlands.
Right outside the city, there are people with guns.
Yes, and Mandatory Carry correctly points out that a 50 caliber, you know, is half the size the bore is of the diameter rather of the 100 calibers, which I estimated that. What we had discussions about that, Max and I. This is more of an auto cannon than it is a Gatling gun. It's more of this is more of a cannon. What she's holding there, not a gun, you know. But anyway, so our girl knows in both the manga and the movie, she knows how to use firearms. That's for sure. Yeah, she could destroy a tank. That's exactly right. She definitely could do it, you know.
I want to see her shoot some guns.
Oh, can you imagine if she was to fire that gun on the lower right, or even on the upper left? If she shot a bullet out of that thing that was made of depleted uranium. Yeah, I mean, holy crap! If she could fire 2,000 rounds a minute, you know, with that gun on the lower right.
To get an idea about people doing that. To get an idea of the films, they had like in Terminator 2, they actually had Arnold Schwarzenegger on cables holding him so he wouldn't go back from the recoil. Same in Predator with Jesse Ventura. That's how much recoil you're talking.
Well, Jesse Ventura had a minigun.
Yes, it was a minigun in both Predator and Terminator 2. And even then, the actors were actually, they had them on supported cables so that they wouldn't be knocked back from the recoil.
Yeah.
It's so badass.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that minigun was. My thought might be it's 30 caliber, but I don't know.
I think it was 5.56.
Oh, was it?
Millimeter.
Okay. All right. Oh, 5.56?
Yeah, 5.56 millimeters, I think, is what that particular minigun was.
Well, a 7.62 is actually pretty close to a 357. So
it's pretty close to 308, actually.
Yeah, 7.62 is basically a 30-06 round.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, that's what little I know of firearms anyway. So, but anyway, do we all agree that in both the manga and in the movie, her use of fire, even though we don't see it that much in the movie, just the fact that she's got that really advanced weapon in the upper right there, and she's holding that badass cannon in the lower right, that she's probably equally adept in both mediums with firearms. Do we agree on that, or does anybody have any thoughts about it?
Well, I think in the manga, she looks like she's had more experience. So
yes.
Well, these pictures are also from the Badlands arc when she's working for Tuned. So and it's like several years have passed. So it could be she started out a little bit rusty and got better with them.
Yeah.
And also the flashback, she would have had a lot more experience than she would do shooting the Gatling gun in the bottom right.
Yeah, that's right. Because on that supply tube, she had just probably had only not been out of basic training or even advanced training that long, and so she was adept with it. But you remember, she lost her memory, so you know she probably had to regain it somehow. But you know,
yeah, but it's probably like riding a bike, isn't it? Shooting a gun.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
just takes a little bit of practice, and she got back into shape with it.
Well, it looks like she did pretty good down there on the lower right.
Rest in peace, poor deck man. You did nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, and Dayslav was saying that the one used by Jesse Ventura in the movie was 7.62.
Okay,
so 7.62 has a much higher kick than a 5.56.
Yeah, that's right.
And when you're firing that many that fast, that's going to knock you on your ass if you're not careful.
Yep. And I don't know if you've ever seen or ever heard, rather, a Gatling gun. Like I remember hearing a Gal 8, which is a gun from back in the 70s. But when I was working for DOD, I was working on a military base, and I hadn't been on there very long, you know. And I heard this Gal 8 go off. It scared the crap out of me, actually, because it was like right across the street. They had a gun range over there, you know, and it was well, Lee, you said you never went to Eglin, but you know. You're probably familiar with that kind of gun, but you know, that thing sounds like an engine. It doesn't sound like you see in the movies sometimes, like that. I don't know if you remember the Avengers movie, that first one where that quad jet was flying in there and it was shooting the gun underneath. It was going like rat-a-tat, tat, 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 like that. Those guns don't do that.
Yeah, I've seen footage of a real minigun firing, and they basically fire at a rate that they've never duplicated in any video game or anything. They're much deadlier in real life.
Yeah, it's loud. Like Mandatory Carry says, it's very loud. Yeah, exactly. Okay, but I think she's probably pretty close in both. Now, yeah, you're right. On the upper left there, she's got more experience. In the lower left, she's got more experience, you know. Looks like she's maybe not right out of boot camp, but you know, I'm
thinking she's definitely going to have some capability with guns in both mediums.
Yes,
but in that particular set of pictures, it's like after she's been sort of out in the field, as it were, using them for several years again.
Yeah, because she didn't have a gun on the moon, did she? I don't know what that
she
was
may
all
have
about.
lost it. It could be
that's
it ran out of ammo and she just discarded it and just started going hand to hand with them once they got close enough.
Yep. Okay, so anyway, maybe I do agree with you, Lee. Maybe on the left she does have a little more capable or a little more experience, so she's probably just a little more capable with the guns because she's using them in the field and all. Whereas on the right, even the picture in the upper right, you know, she hasn't been out of training that long. And of course,
we don't really know that, but from her,
we don't know it. We don't. That's right. We don't know.
I think from her expression, it seems like you might be right, just because she seems to be all like, "Yeah, I can do this" sort of thing.
Well, it could be the war's been going on for a couple of years, and she's been fighting in it. So
yeah, that's right. So
I mean, this is the last battle of the war.
Yeah. Yep.
This is when Mars threw everything they had at Earth.
Yeah. Or the Earth, you mean. Oh, you mean Mars center to that. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So anyway, well, she's probably close in both. I'd give her a little bit of an edge on the left rather, because like I say, she's using those guns in the field and probably has more experience. So, okay. Is she a better fighter in the manga or in the movie?
Oh, I know the answer to this one, but I'll let the
let the panel
other panel.
I think she's about the same as far as fighting capability in both. I mean, the picture on the left is, again, it's in the Badlands arc, and that's once again she's been learning more tricks and whatnot, getting into more fights and gaining more experience. But if it were the same point in the timeline in both mediums, I think she's probably going to be equally equivalent.
Pretty close, at least when she's in the berserker body. Yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, as far as her fighting capability and her skill level, I think they're
probably similar.
But due to anime physics and whatnot, I think the manga version is probably just going to be able to do better.
Well, the thing about the manga too is that it's, you know, she's got those Imaginos bodies in the last order.
Well, that's way down there in the timeline.
That's right. Well, that's right, and it is really OP. So if you consider the capability of those bodies, particularly that 2.1 body, it's not a contest. I mean,
yeah, the 2.1 body is basically a cheat code.
Yes, it's got godlike capability. You know, so yeah, exactly. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the movie and all the manga up to the point, I guess, of the last order, because even the Imaginos 1.0 body is ridiculously powerful, you know. So okay, so you know, I think excluding the Imaginos bodies, she's probably a little better in the manga. Do you think?
Well, I'm not really going off bodies, but just basically her learned skill level.
Okay.
I think they're going to be equivalent. I mean,
Okay.
when you match each one of them up at similar points in the timeline for either the movie or the manga, they're going to be probably equal because it's still Alita.
Yeah. Yeah, because she still knows Panzerkunst and she still knows how to use weapons and stuff.
So the
like
movie
that.
version, once she gets 10 years of experience out in the Badlands, she'll be equivalent to the picture on the left.
Oh God, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to see that. What do you think, Angelus? You've been holding your powder, keeping your powder dry there. What do you think?
Oh, well, actually, I'm glad that I let the others go first because they've given me a bit of a new perspective. But much like what was mentioned, the fact that give her 10 years in Badlands in the movie version, she's going to be that much more badass that she will be the equivalent. But even if I was to take movie version Alita to manga version Alita in the first arc, I would probably say that she still has the edge in manga. But
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
just my personal opinion.
I think that's right.
The reason why I say I'm glad that I let the others go first is because, like I said, they've all raised very valid points.
Now, that's not to say she's a wimp in the movie. Yeah, she might be like 0.99 in the manga and 0.98 in the movie. So, something like that. So, okay. Anybody got any other thoughts about her fighting skill in the manga and the movie?
Well, I haven't really seen her fighting skill that much because she's, from what I've read, she's only really done like motorball. She obviously fought Makaku.
Yeah,
she was obviously really good there, but that's about level with the movie. So,
oh, wait till you get to the Japan arc, you're gonna love that. So.
Yeah,
yeah, it's gonna be great. So, okay, I guess we can move on here. Now we're gonna talk about Motorball right here. Now this is just her preparing. I probably should have put the picture of her and Esdoc talking on the left instead of her tying her shoe right there. So, but the reason why I picked that one is because Ito is putting those wheel feet on her, on the right, So, but you see, she doesn't have wheel feet on the left, so it's kind of weird. Now she does get wheel feet in the manga, that's for sure.
Well, it could be what she's. Oh, maybe she is tying. I was just thinking maybe she's getting prepared to change out her feet in the manga.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, playing Motorball. Now we got a couple of slides on that one. What do you think? Now, Vladi, you've read this. I mean, So now the one on the left, I think, did Fran Harmonica draw that? Maybe that's not.
Yeah, he does lots of good.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Lots.
Yeah, he does. Anyway, it's a manga-like picture, so there you have it. What do you think? Is she? What's her skill level in the manga versus the movie? What do you think?
About the same, to be honest. I can't think of any major differences.
One difference would be I think she's deadlier in the manga, but only because they seem to be a lot looser with the rules against killing your opponent in the manga.
Yeah.
In the movie, she has a more innocent way of joining Motorball.
Yeah.
Plus, the movie version of Motorball, at least according to the Doc Ito journal, they have much stricter rules against killing opponents.
Yeah.
You get penalized much more harshly for it. Actually, you don't even get penalized for it in the manga, as far as I know.
Yeah. What do you think, Angelus? Because I think I got something that's going to throw a monkey wrench in this works. But go ahead, Angelus.
I don't know. I feel at odds because on paper she's much more deadlier in the manga.
Yeah.
But she's inexperienced in applying.
Yeah.
Well, in timeline-wise, inexperienced in applying combat to like a fighting sport situation, and yet she quite literally just demolished them all. Like the only hiccup she had was even outside of the arena
Mhm.
versus Screwhead and Stinger.
Yeah.
And even then, she was like, well, she manipulated Screwhead into manipulated Stinger into taking out Screwhead, and
Yeah.
then used that manipulation to then take out Stinger, as we saw
Yeah.
in the movie. So, I mean, that in itself tells me that she's got, she might not have the experience, but she's got the intuition for combat. So,
Well, relative to the competitors that she was in the arena with, in the movie, she's up against those hunter warriors and those two criminals, which were second league tryout level themselves, and in the manga, I think she only gets to the third league, which is going to be more like you'd say semi-professional league, if you want to think of it as that. And the second league is more of a like minor leagues, if you put it in the baseball context. And of course, the first league or the Champions League is going to be the major leagues, So I think her competition, now we don't see her playing too much in the movie, but the fact that at the very end where she has gone through the second league in just a matter of months, she is and she wins the second league in the movie. Now we don't get to see her win. I hope that's what if they're going to do a series, that's one of the things they could do is put her in the second league and let her play, let us see her play, but in the manga I think she just mainly competes in the third league, which those competitors, she just wipes the floor with them. I mean, they're not a challenge for her at all, and you see right there on the left, she's actually facing off against Joshigan, who's in the first in the Champions League, and she's holding her own, so it's difficult to say. I'm using the baseball analogy here, but I would say that the average minor league baseball player is a better baseball player than the average semi-pro baseball player. Okay. And I don't know if that still holds true. Oh, we lost Chaos. If that holds true in motorball, but if it's a similar level of ability, play in the sport, then I would have to say that she's a better motorball player in the movie. Now, she's certainly more deadly in the manga because it's like you all were saying, that the rules are a little bit, it's almost like the rules are made to be broken in that manga, But she's not really competing for most of her playing there against opponents, that are second league, kind of players like she in the movie. Now the tryout, obviously she's not. Those are just murderers, hunter warriors and murderers is all they are. But she does
series basically, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So they're not true second league players themselves.
They were definitely experienced fighters, though.
Yes,
they were just better than they were.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And but like we say, at the end of the movie, she's won the second league championship. So I mean, that says a lot right there. In the manga, I can't recall if she wins the third league championship or if she quits before that. I can't remember. I know she goes to fight Joshigan because she has to put together a team or something like that to fight Joshigan. And I think Joshigan takes them all out. I mean, except for her. Anyway, thoughts, guys?
I'm going to say about equivalent.
Okay. What do you think, Vladi? You've read the Motorball arc. What do you think?
Well, which one was stronger?
Yeah, which one? Is she a better Motorball player in the manga or in the movie?
I feel like I already answered that. About similar, I thought.
Okay. What about Angelus?
My vote would still go for Manga.
Okay. So we got 3 for the manga and 1 for the movie. So all right, she's a better player in the manga.
Well, there's more like focus on her training and stuff in the manga, so she feels more mature going into the race.
Yeah, and we
haven't done the Jashigan arc yet.
Yeah. Plus, we didn't see her get to do that in the movie either, did we?
Yeah, but they needed to get that mode. They had the perfect. Some manga fans complained that they shoved the motor ball in there, but I don't know. I feel like it was the perfect amount.
Oh, I thought so too. I mean, now of course I saw the movie first. I thought it was great, but after I read the manga, I was okay still with it.
Yeah, the motor ball scenes aren't very long anyway. They're what, like
no, they're not.
Yeah, there's a massive extended pointless action scene of motorball.
Yeah. Now, what I'd like to see in the sequel is I think you guys heard me say this, but you remember some months back in Radio Chaos, we did a comparison between Motorball and Rollerball, which is a 70s movie, which was really good, I think.
Yeah, I need to watch that. I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's got James Caan. Of course, he passed away here a few months ago. But they at the beginning of the movie, what they did is they devoted, say, 4 minutes or so, might have been 7, I can't remember. But they devoted that part of that very beginning of the movie to an actual rollerball match, where it showed Houston playing Madrid, So you got a feel for what rollerball was like, playing it, and stuff like that, and how brutal it was and stuff like that, Yeah,
they did that. They did that in the movie as well.
Yeah, they did.
When she went to go watch it the first time with Hugo.
Yeah. But you didn't get a whole lot of it there. We only saw a little snippet of it. It would be neat I guess you did see a pretty good, it was a pretty good taste of it, I guess, But what I'd like to see is at the beginning of, say, the sequel, where they go in the Motorball arc, is that Alita plays a match, and they go, and maybe they only have to devote maybe 3 minutes or 4 minutes to it tops, and her winning or something like that. But you get to see again the difference between playing the Motorball match, kind of like they did when she went to the stadium with Hugo, and that second league tryout, which was really not a tryout, it was really murder ball. So.
Well, the manga version too, when you catch up with her, I think she's been playing Motorball for a while, so she's had some experience.
Yeah,
that's in the movie, that was like her very first match of Motorball.
Yeah. Not bad for her first match.
Nope.
Took him out. Yeah, I got the sense if that had been a real Motorball match. Remember, she got the Motorball to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And
she'd have been scoring points right off the bat.
Oh, she would have won, because she was way ahead of them and all that. Now the Motorball, is going to be heavy and stuff like that. I forget how many pounds that was. It 50 pounds or I can't remember. But for a cyborg, that is not going to be that heavy, Yeah. So okay, so I guess we've determined that Alita in the manga is a better Motorball player than Alita in the movie. Is that right? Or did we say it was comparable?
Well, I was saying it was comparable as far as I think it was.
Yeah, I thought it was similar, but she just had a more mature attitude in the manga because obviously it carried on longer.
Well, she's more vicious in the manga, wasn't she? Whoa.
Yeah. It was more naive. Like Rosa in one of the interviews, she said, Alita goes into it and she's like, I want to play Motorball. And then obviously they're all trying to kill her. So it changes.
Yeah. Well, that was like that scene in the locker room, here she's about to play this, at that point, she thinks she's about to, she didn't know it was going to be Motorball, obviously, but she was about to play this first match, excuse me, that tryout. And what does she think about? I mean, she's so loose, she's so not so stressed and all that. What's the first thing out of her mouth? Ito, can a human love a cyborg?
Mm-hmm. She's got her mind elsewhere a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's just sport at the end of the day.
Yeah.
To get her and Hugo to Zalem. She doesn't really
Yeah.
care about a motorball.
Yeah, not at that
But
point.
it's fun.
Yeah.
She finds it fun, I'm sure. But
Yeah, because it's
at the
kind
end
of
of the
like
day, it's all
combat.
about her and the people she loves.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, it's kind of like combat. So yeah,
No, I don't think it's kind of like combat. I think it is.
it is like combat. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so anyway, now just a couple of things here. We're going to get to the uwu, and there's certainly a similarity there. You know, Ito's doing a systems check on the left, and on the right there, he's doing a systems check of her because remember, she just kicked the shit out of those 3 cyborgs in the alley, and he was making sure she wasn't injured somehow, you know, or damaged, you know. So, but I think we all pointed out, Vladi, I think you pointed out, you know, some of the other shots of her on the right in the movie, you know, just how beautiful the, you know, the concept of the machinery and stuff like that when they were showing those plates that are not on her, you know, the attention to the detail and stuff like that showed her heart and all that stuff.
Yeah, everything from inside and out, it's all just a masterpiece.
Yeah, it is. And they kind of did that in the manga too. You see, I mean, this looks a little different.
Yeah, Kishiro did a lot of
Obviously.
detail work in a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, that's right. But you can see her breastplate there is up and all of the connections and all that's, you know,
you
all
see her
these
digestive
systems.
tract and all that. All
Yeah, you know. Yeah. And of course, she's just looking at it like, you know, like no big deal, you know.
I think the movie I know the movie got criticism in the media from like over sexualizing her or whatever.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
In a way, I think it even toned down the creepiness in a way.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it did.
So I don't know, it's just completely bizarre.
Yeah, because I
though.
think compared to the manga, it made the relationship between Ito and Alita a much more wholesome.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's right. Now I think later on in the manga, Ito's, you know, his his concept of her evolves, you know, throughout the manga. You know, in other words, at the beginning he's a little bit creepy about it, you know, but yeah, eventually he does have that kind of a fatherly thing for her, even, you know, later on in the manga, you know. But yeah, you're right. In the movie, he has that fatherly instinct immediately, doesn't he? So yeah.
I actually like his background in the movie better than I like his background in the manga.
Yeah, I do too.
Although I had no real problem with the manga version, but I just like the movie one better.
Yeah, I think so.
But that, again, that's not to criticize the manga, which they're just different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's different.
And even Kishiro pointed out that it gave him a little bit more depth in a way, added emotional depth to why he felt so strongly for the body and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's her offering her heart. Now, these are 2 totally different
type
of a
situations are completely different.
Yes. Yeah. On the left there, you know, she's telling Joshigan, you know, what are they going to do, arm wrestling or something? She says, if you beat me, you can take my heart and destroy it, you know. Whereas on the right, she's offering her heart to Hugo, you know, because she loves him, you know. So
I feel like they might do a callback to it and do that kind of thing from the manga, and obviously calling back to the movie. But I don't know, I just can't see her character doing that in that exact way, even if she has changed a lot in the sequel.
Yeah. But boy, look at her. Look at the expression on her face on the left.
Yeah.
If she is that like what's the word?
Intense.
Yeah, she's that intense and sort of nihilistic. I don't know, maybe that's not the right word. Like giving up your own heart is a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, it would like tear me apart to see her like that.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that.
No, probably not.
Yeah, that because that would kind of cheapen the one on the right, I think. Now they may do something where she gets in Joshigan's face, you know, and I hope they do the arm wrestling thing. You know, that would be the coolest thing, seeing a big old hulking guy, you know, like Jai Courtney, you know, when he's in Kay and Josh gone, they're going to have him built up, you know. And Jai Courtney's a big guy anyway. I mean, he's fairly big himself, you know, but, you know, and have a little old Rosa, you know, who's playing Alita, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
They do that. That'd be the neatest scene, I think.
Her doing that with her heart, though, in the manga, they'd need something to replace those stakes, because that's obviously makes the stakes really massive if she loses.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they'd replace it with if they didn't.
Yeah, one reason I can't see her doing that with her heart in the movie is because it's a highly advanced antimatter reactor.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to, like, you know, just squish something like that without finding out what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And she's going to have more experience and more mature in the sequel, so she's not going to. Yeah.
Remind me what her heart is. Is the heart part of her core in the manga as well? I can't remember.
I think so.
Yeah, it is part of her core. Yeah.
No, it's still essentially the same, like super advanced core.
Yeah, same as in the movie. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I don't know if they called it an antimatter microreactor or not, though. Maybe I don't remember that.
I don't think it was in the
manga. No, I don't think so.
Don't really recall exactly, but.
So anyway, but you see a big difference there in why she's offering her heart. Obviously, the panel on the left is probably inspired them to do that on the right, but they said, "Oh no, we can't let her do this out of anger. We're just, you know, she loves Hugo and she wants to give Hugo her heart, you know." So I mean, that's what they did. So when my first reaction when I saw that, I went, "Holy shit, girl, put that thing back in your chest."
I think they did
Don't
in the
give
movie that
fool-
way because they were just going to basically sort of use it as a way of showing just how completely she gives herself to people she falls in love with.
Yeah, that's right. Well, this
Or
is
to any of the people she loves.
This is who I am, you know. I mean, yeah. But I saw that, so put that thing back. Don't give that fool your heart. So anyway. Okay, and of course this is similar. You know, I think the difference is that in the manga she kisses Hugo, and in the movie Hugo kisses her. You know, so but other than that, it's a similar thing. You know, I mean, it's although Hugo really now certainly when he saw her in that berserker body, he's like, "Holy shit, she's nice," you know, type thing. But on the left here, you see Hugo there, or Hugo. He's like, "Crap, what are you doing?" You know, something like that. You know, his take caught him completely.
Yeah, the
off
two
guard.
Hugos at this point really diverged a lot.
Yeah,
the movie Hugo really fell in love with her. In the manga movie, or in the manga, Hugo just didn't really feel any way about her.
Yeah, until the end.
I wouldn't have minded seeing Alita take the initiative in the kissing scene. That would have been really cute too. But the way they did it was really nice.
Yeah, it was good. So, yeah, Finestro says he likes both of them. Yeah, and I do too. Exactly. I think it's pretty cool. You know,
that's kind of what makes the Alita fandom quite special. There's no real antipathy towards the manga, or we know they're different. Some people prefer aspects of the story and of each different part, but we like really respect both. Well, most of us do. Some like some manga fans are a bit against the movie, but that's to be expected when they've had like a lifetime. Well,
they're not. Yeah, but some of those fans though are not haters. I mean, like kind of like, well, at least not while I've been with the Elite Army. Because I can't.
Yeah, but they don't really get involved with the fandom, which is good too. They don't. Yeah, so in a way, that's good as well. So it's a very like wholesome fandom. Although obviously the media tried to portray us as just more of like an anti-Captain Marvel.
Jesus. Well, I remember on Twitter, I hadn't been in the Elite Army very long, and I got accused of being an alt-right misogynist.
Really? I don't remember you getting accused of that.
Yeah, that was a tail end of all that, I guess. And what the hell?
One of the things that really knocked me out is them going on about the movie sexualizing Alita, and the only ones focusing on like her boob size and all that were the people complaining about it.
It was literally it was just them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt bad.
He hates haters.
In an interview, it felt awkward. I feel like Rosa felt like she had to say. She said, and she's all properly proportioned. But I felt really bad for her that she had to say that when it's just like obvious, like her body is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I've had friends ask me, why does she have boobs? You know, and of course I got to explain it to them. You know, like not I haven't
she's a
heard.
woman?
Girl.
Well, I haven't had to explain that for a while because this has been a while back. But you know, I said, well,
Yeah.
the first body she got in the movie was actually developed by the guy, you know, that Doc Ito that wanted for his daughter, so he wanted to make her like a girl. And then in her berserker body, it actually, you know, reconfigures itself around her self-image, and she identifies herself as a girl. So, you know, that's why she's got boobs, you know, and they're not, I mean, well, I don't mean to get into boobs here, but they're not grotesque.
It's just human anatomy. I don't see what the
Yeah.
big deal is.
Yeah,
We're all
really.
adults,
And it's not like
even if we're not.
Yeah, it's not like they're size 45s or something like that, you know. Alexandra Camago's out there, and you know what, Alexandra Camago, I haven't put the link in the chat for a while. If you want to come on, you can come on. We're getting into it here a ways, you know, but there it is. It's in the chat. So if you want to come on, there it is. But yeah, I didn't like that either, them over sexualizing her, you know. I mean, yeah, you could say that even the doll body sequence and when she's doing that handstand and finger stand, you could say, yeah, she looks kind of sexy there, but that's not over sexualizing her, you know. Come on, give me a break. You know,
the human form is just attractive. It's just how the human condition. That's just the way it is. To say that it's like there's something wrong with it, I think is anti-human in a way. I have a real problem with some of these feminists.
Yeah, well, hell with them. So anyway, just to be honest about it. Okay, now we get to Angelus's favorite subject here, uwu. So anyway, there she is. She looks cute in both of those, you know. I mean,
that's an interesting segue from what we were just talking about.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, for sure, you know. But anyway, there, and I got a nice little picture at the end there you guys are going to love too. But anyway, yeah, she looks cute there, doesn't she, in both of those, for sure, you know. And definitely she looks really cute there. I really like all those shots of her in the, you know, in the locker room. I think she's just really cute in all of those, you know.
The way she smiled at Ito after he said he made those feet for her.
Yeah, that's right. You made these for me?
Gerhard. Yeah. And then Gerhard smiles back at her. It's just like the most wholesome scene.
Buenas tardes, Alejandro.
Hey,
Hello,
Alejandro.
Chris. How are you?
How's it going?
Oh, very well, thank you. Sorry to be too late.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I think we're nearly wrapping up, aren't we?
I should have said "Cómo está," but I didn't say that. So anyway.
Oh, that's good. Estoy muy bien. ¿Y usted cómo está?
Yeah, and I would have said "muy bien" back to you. So anyway, yeah, we're getting through here, but yeah, you're welcome on. Better late than never, as they say, you know.
Yes. Good phrase.
Anyway, she's real cute there, and she is really cute there too. Now, you know what's interesting about that on the left? I mean, she looks like a little girl almost, but you got to remember she had been in the Badlands for 10 years.
Yeah, she's like in her 30s, I think, at that point.
Yeah, she's like, maybe.
I think she's just getting into her 30s.
Yeah. Now, by the time she gets her Imagine It Was 2.1 body, I think she's in her mid 30s, but you know, whatever. But anyway, yeah, she's not, you know, she's not a teenager in that thing, you know. Nope. She's a woman, you know. And of course, on the right there, boy, she's really cute. That's one of my favorite pictures of her, and you guys know that I always put that in my good morning tweet every night. Holy crap, that smile kills me every time I see it.
Yeah, well, she's just watching Hugo in his bed. It's all very sweet.
Yeah, you know. I like it. He says hi, and she says hi back at him. It's like, yeah, that's what teenagers would say, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, she looks really cute there, you know. So, and then of course, not to over sexualize things, we'll get to that a little bit later. But okay, which version do you think she has the most uwu in? Is it in the manga or is it in the movie?
Well, as much as I do love the manga version, I
Yeah.
think I'm going to go with the movie version just because of the way Rosa brings her to life on the screen.
Yes.
But
What?
it's a very close call there, I think, for as far as I'm
Yes.
concerned.
Yes, indeedy. What about it, Vladi?
Well, I'll always prefer the movie version, but
Yeah.
she's got a load. She's incredibly uwu in the manga as well.
Yeah, she is.
But for me, adding the Rosa Salazar factor tops her over the uwu edge.
I think so. Yeah, that definitely does.
Yeah.
I think the performance of Rosa is almost out of this world because she gets of the intensity, the joy, the emotion, the tears when she spoke some phrases, or the joy when she's talking to you, Hugo, and when she enjoyed the memorable. I think that feeling gets you more to the movie than from the manga, but obviously the manga has a beautiful work of Yukito Kishiro, right?
Yeah, well said.
What do you think, Angelus?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say that well, I like what it did to make it photoreal. It and because they so closely sort of kept that, Kishiro said it himself, kept the spirit of Alita. I was going to lean towards the manga.
Yeah.
But then someone pointed out the Rosa Salazar factor, and that's
You bet.
just can't be beat, as Lottie pointed out. So
yeah, the Creek likes the manga. I mean, likes the movie as well. You know, I mean, like you say, because I mean, I think Rosa. I mean, you know, every time I see a picture of Rosa, I always put 4 hearts and that little emoticon of the, you know, in love, you know, type thing, the little face with the 3 hearts on it. You know, I used to just put the 4 hearts on it, and I said, okay, well, I got to go beyond. I got to go to the next level now. So I put that little emoticon on it. You know, but yeah, Rosa, you know, is incredibly pretty. I think, you know, I mean, I think she just and she's a great actor too. So
yeah, she's not just pretty.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to be, you know, a little bit less. What's the word? Creepy? No. But anyway, yeah. But I think she's great. You know, I mean, and she and it's kind of like y'all said. She brought Alita to life, man, just with her acting. You know, I mean, she's. You know, you know, like we've talked about in a couple other streams, there were other actors going for this, and they were all pretty good, especially Zendaya. You know, Zendaya would have done a great job too, but I think they picked the right one when they picked Rosa. Man, Rosa's, you know, Rosa's great. And you know, I when I see the movie, you know, when I watch it, I've lost count at 50 times now, but when I see it, I look for shots where I see Rosa, and when you do that, you see her more, you know, when you actually pay attention, you know, and you see her look, you know, how, like, especially in shots where she's looking to the side, you know, or that shot when she's on the table, you know, when after Ito finds her and he's on the, and he's putting her back together and stuff like that, you know, that to me looks a lot like Rosa too. That is Rosa, you know. So Finestro says he doesn't know which one is better, I guess. So
yeah, he's not saying that he likes one or the other better.
Yeah,
I can't argue with that. They're both
yeah. Oh yeah, they are. You know, but I got. Go ahead, go ahead, Alejandro.
Yes, as we are talking about in another live stream, I think one of the most value component of the performance of Rosa is really the voice. The voice of that girl is out of this world. It's wonderful.
Yes.
For the emotion in this sense, it's only it's for her that can get off the content and the emotion and the vitality for the voice. In that's some very special mark from the film that we don't talk in another solution.
Well, here's another thing Mandatory Carry brings up that I know Dan used to talk about this, and he's referencing that, but you know, how Dan would talk about how Rosa trained, you know, for these fight scenes and just, you know, she did a lot of training, not just the fight scenes. She did, you know, she trained on rollerblading and stuff like that, but she did do a lot of training, you know, in martial arts. She, you know, it took her like 6 months, I think is what it said. Cause she said before she, you know, took the job for Alita, she had to get in shape, you know, because she said I was basically a croissant.
Yeah, made of croissants.
Yeah. So she had to really, you know, she had to really go for it, you know, in terms of training. And that is one of the things I really like about her. She internalized the character to the point where she didn't want to just go through the motions and have a, you know, somebody like a, you know, a stunt double or something like that.
Yeah, she wanted to be able to do the fighting moves herself.
Yeah, she did. You know, man, she did great too. She really did. You know, yeah, that's right, Lee. She trained for 6 months for this, so that just makes me like her even more. You know, I mean, she's, you know, I mean, how many people would have done that? You know,
can't really think of too many offhand, but there are some out there that would have.
Yeah, there's some that would, you know, but she's certainly extraordinary doing that, you know. Oh, somebody's got a
visitor. Is that the bell that we need to wrap things up?
No, we well, on Creek Stream
have we got left? It's 1 a.m. here.
Well, on Creek Stream we don't have a time limit on it.
Yeah, I might
obviously
have to go need to get off to bed surely.
So I think the consensus is that she has really great uwu in all of them, in both the manga and the movie. But I think we all think it's going to be the movie's going to have a slight edge. Am I right?
I think so.
We got a consensus on that one. Yeah. And okay, so any other thoughts about her uwu? Anything?
Oh, Finn was just saying, yeah, Keanu Reeves, he's another one who does a lot of training for his.
Yes, he does. That's exactly right. Yeah, before he did The Matrix, he did a lot of martial arts training himself. You know,
and I actually watched some of the gun training he did for John Wick.
Yeah, yeah, he's also a serious actor. You know, I think that's one reason Dan really wants Keanu Reeves to be figure 4 in the sequel. Or it won't be in the next movie. It'd probably be in the 3rd or 4th movie if the Creek gets his way. Yep. But I don't know. You know, Keanu Reeves, I think he would do pretty well. But I kind of want to see either Jason Momoa. I guess that'd be my preference from just a physical how he, you know, because he's a Samoan, you know, and figure 4
need someone built.
Yeah, you know, and
figures.
You know,
yeah, he's a really buff guy, lots of muscle. So you need somebody who's got a huge build to be able to.
Yeah.
Well, Dan
match Rose's Alita's berserker body.
Yeah, that's right. You know, well, he's not going to match her berserker or her toon body.
So you're going to look good
butt,
next
no matter
to
what. But at least he's in the ballpark.
Keanu's he's a little bit Weasley.
Well,
sorry, I'm going to get killed for that.
Well, I don't think he's Weasley, but I just don't think he's built like figure 4, you know?
Yeah.
Could he buff up?
Musculature that.
Could he buff up? Maybe. I don't know. But I think somebody like Jason Momoa, for one thing, you know, because we've had that discussion. I think figure 4 is an American Indian, you know, and Den thought he was more of a kind of a, you know, Samoan type guy, you know, but they're similar, you know, in a lot of ways. You know, you can go either way with that. But a guy that might be the best, even though he's probably not exact, well, he is a Samoan, and that would be The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah, I like him.
Well, here's the thing about him. I think if he was to get involved in this franchise right here and he really get into it like he did DC, you know, he might be able to, you know, kind of pull this thing over the finish line because remember, he got Henry Cavill back into DCEU as Superman. I mean, he did this himself, you know, and he told Warner, is it Warner Brothers? I forget who it was, but yeah, he told Warner Brothers, hey, settle your dispute with Henry Cavill and get him in here. And they obeyed.
They did, yeah. But yeah, I think he would be right. I wouldn't rely on him to bring in loads of extra money, but he'd definitely bring in quite a bit. And he'd be good. I think he'd have the. I'd prefer Jason Momoa, I think, but.
Well, just from his look, you know, but you know what? They can do a lot, you know, in movies, you know, with makeup and even mocap. If they wanted to try that with him, I don't think they'd need to with Dwayne Johnson. But I would like him because if he got really into this, can you smell what the figure 4 is cooking? I don't know if you guys know what that means.
Oh,
yeah, no, I've got his old biography from the WWF days.
Okay, so that's good. So
yeah, I used to be really into it when I was like 13.
So yeah. Can you smell what he's cooking? Yeah, yeah. I used to love that, you know. But anyway,
can you smell what Nova is cooking? Yes,
that's it. He would. I think he could probably get Disney on board, you know. All right, so we know who's got the most uwu then, don't we?
Alita.
Cool. Yep. Yeah, Alita. That's right. Maybe a little more in the movie, but the manga's damn good. You know,
it's a close call as far as
it is. Yeah, it's one of those.
But that's why the adaptation's so good, because it matches so well.
Well, it's like one of those baseball games. It's like
preach, brother, preach.
12 to 11.
Indeed.
You know, something like that.
Never stop, Alita Preacher.
That's right. All right, guys, did we miss anything?
No, I think we covered it quite well.
Yeah,
in relation to comparisons.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed me chapter 3.
I missed one.
A very good selection of scenes and a picture of the manga. Creek, congratulations. Very, very good work.
Well, I appreciate that.
Great work on the slides, as always. They always keep the discussion rolling freely. Oh, speaking of which, have you got questions ready for tomorrow?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because I don't know if
is she coming on?
Yes, she's coming on tomorrow. We need to get those questions to her like in the morning or as early as you can.
Okay.
Can you check the DM group with FKN?
Okay, I can do that because I got like 10 questions or something like that I put together. So
yeah, I should be able to.
I was actually hoping that El Lamont. I asked her a question about. I was hoping El Lamont would text me back, you know, about one particular thing, but you know, El Lamont's kind of busy. You know, she kind of goes around a lot and all that. So anyway,
as long as the most important question is on there.
Don't say pineapple on pizza.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if is there a Google Docs of these questions, Vladi? Because I can just copy and paste it in there.
Well, I don't know. I think you're the only one who's got questions so far.
Oh, really? Oh, then I'll create the Google Docs then. So there you go.
Well, you need to get in that DM group and ask someone.
Well, I am in the DM group, but I did ask, and nope, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, there's been some. I don't know, because Max has been busy. So.
Yeah. And I noticed Tony hadn't put down yet. Staravellian hadn't put down who's going to be the stream manager. Is he wanting me to be the stream manager or what? Do you know that, Lonnie,
I have no idea. I'm not in the organizational group.
Oh, yeah, you are. You're one of the core group. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm not free most Saturdays. So.
Oh, I see.
I can't commit.
So, did we miss anything? Yes, the Creek has missed not getting his questions in there for everybody to look at and to get to Jessie. So, all right.
Sorry, yeah, what's her name? She's Jessie, and she's a stunt. She was one of the stunt girls, was she? Was she the main one?
Yeah, Jessie Fisher is her name.
Was she the one that
She was Screwhead.
One Rosa mentioned in interviews quite a lot. Was that her? Was that a different one?
Well, it wasn't Rosa.
Multiple.
It wasn't Rosa. Well, Rosa, I think, did mention her once, but El Lamont said that Jessie Fisher was the most badass stunt woman she has ever worked with.
Okay, I'll check the interview because there was one on one of the red carpet in London where she mentioned once. I'll check if it's Jessie. It might be a different one because I know she had multiple stunt girls.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll create that Google Docs and send it out to everybody, and you know everybody can go look at it and add their questions and stuff like this. So.
Yeah, we can add some more as the day goes by tomorrow. and we can tell her to check it just before.
Now, are we not going to read the manga tomorrow? Are we just going to interview her for half an hour and or what are we going to do? Have we decided as Maxie, because he's supposed to be he's the host.
Angela, so you on tomorrow?
Yeah, he's on.
I'm on tomorrow as well, and I'll be backup host in case Maxie gets waifu'd.
I guess we'll just play it by ear and see if she wants to wait for the news, or we can go straight into her questions if she wants to just dash off.
Yeah. Every time we interview somebody, they kind of indicate, well, I don't have a lot of time. Then they end up staying for like a couple of hours or something.
Yeah, they stay for like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, that's right. So
I almost feel sorry for them by the end of it.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'll get my questions. I'll put them on Google Docs, and then we'll
post them in the group chats and ask for like more people to add some.
Well, I'm gonna put the link in the group chat.
Yeah.
That way you can go right to it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, Alejandro?
Yes, I would like to ask you guys if you have seen the last work of Rosa in the wedding season.
No, I have not seen that yet.
I saw it, yeah.
I recommend you guys that series. It's wonderful. What
it's really good.
Performance.
Yeah, she's really good at it.
Oh, the
it's really good.
Rosa is marvelous.
All right,
she is really good in it. It didn't get much publicity though, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll check it out then.
She's really good in it. There's some
bits
weren't exactly to my taste, but she was really good. I like the way it built up to a big like dramatic finale. It was all quite good.
Cool.
It's a combination of genres because it's thrilling, emotioning, and romantic, and the adventures too.
Okay.
It's like a new version of the 007 girl with a lot of mysteries and a lot of emotion and actions and many different aspects.
All right.
And
it's
really watch. Great. What a great series. I like it very much. I recommend it strongly.
Yeah,
okay.
I hope it's getting like Disney Plus is sort of more for like younger audiences. So it's good that she's more of it in a more mature kind of thing in it.
Nice. Yeah.
I hope it'll get like a long-term viewership as more grown-ups join the servers.
Okay, I'll check it out. Lee, have you seen it?
I don't have a subscription to the streaming service it's on.
Neither do I. I cancelled after watching that because Disney 23 Expo disappointed me.
So it'll be It'll be Hulu for me then, I guess. So
yeah, it's on Hulu in America.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get the chance to ask you, Creek. What did you think of Chapter 2?
Oh, I liked it. Did you not see did I put a comment in on that one? I can't remember.
A comment in on Chapter 1, but I haven't seen one for Chapter 2.
Oh,
I wasn't sure what you thought.
Oh, I liked it. I sure did. Yeah.
What about his slip up mentioning his father shot himself?
Yeah, that was interesting. I like those scenes where they're eating in the mess hall or where the workers eat. That guy because he's got that one girl that it's kind of got a crush on him, I think, and he always tries to find a way to get out of there.
Yeah. Because of his situation, he doesn't want to get entangled with somebody.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what you say about Chapter 3.
Okay, I'll definitely go back and put something on Chapter 2 because I liked it a lot, and then I'll go right into 3. So there we go.
All right.
All right, guys, did we miss anything?
No,
good.
Just manga and movie Alita, both tops, best characters. Well, they're all one character, really.
Yeah, they are. And of course, Alita there agrees because she really loves her Uncle Creek. And if you don't like it, she'll burn your ass with that plasma weapon.
She loves her husband Vladdy more.
Oh, is that right? Oh, does that make you my kind of like nephew-in-law or something?
Yeah, I suppose it does.
So you're gonna call him?
We can have awkward family gatherings.
Okay. Well, you guys don't celebrate Thanksgiving over in England, so I don't know what we're going to do. You know.
Well,
so.
we'll just have we do Christmas, so
Oh, okay, that'll work.
like normal, like the rest of the world.
Yeah. Boy, my mother was big into Christmas. She was English, you know, so very
get the roast in the oven, get the Yorkshire puddings going.
Yorkshire pudding, and she used to make. Well, I don't know if you guys do this or not now, but she used to make me. God, what is the name of that candy she used to make? It's an almond-based candy.
Marzipan?
Marzipan, that's right. Yeah.
I hate that stuff. I hate it.
God,
so much.
I used to love it. I loved it, man. It was great.
Always hated it.
So anyway, yeah, my mother was very British. You know, very British. I had a great time. I've been over there 3 times, and I've loved it each time. Well, of course, the last time I was there on business, so I didn't get to do as much as I want.
It's been so long since I've had marzipan. What exactly is that?
It's a kind of a almond paste.
Yeah, it's like an almond sugary paste.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it sort of like fluffy?
No, not fluffy. No.
No.
If Alita loses arm wrestle, can I have Fluffy?
It's like stodgy paste.
It must not be what I'm thinking of then.
Yeah. Yeah, now I get for Christmas. We have an international market not far from my house here, and they have marzipan there. Now it's not like homemade, obviously. My mother used to make it homemade. God, it was good. But anyway, I'm getting all.
Oh, the one I'm thinking of, it's like a puffed sort of cream with chopped walnuts in it, so it doesn't have the almonds in it.
Or like a walnut whip. Oh, I love that. Like a creamy thing inside chocolate with a walnut on top. No, that's good.
Yeah.
But no marzipan for me.
Okay.
I need to get to bed.
All right, we'll see you. Well, we're going to wrap up here in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's our girl. Right? She ain't a girl. This ain't no girl. This is a woman right here, and she is a great actor. #1 in the Creeks book. That's for sure.
I love that.
Like I say every week, it don't hurt that she's pretty. She definitely is. And another shout out to Elle Lamont. She's my other celebrity crush. You know, Rosa and Elle. They're both my.
Yeah, Elle's a little bit less elusive than Rosa.
Yeah, that's right.
The black dresses. She looks very great in black.
Yeah.
Dresses.
She's great.
And
she's
let me
rocking
tell
that
you
pose.
one detail about the wedding season.
Okay.
In that series, she's using a lingerie dress, very sexy, very similar as the Churen used in the scene with the bed of Vector.
Okay, you sold me.
Please take it to account because she looks very sexy, very sensual, beautiful.
That's one scene near the end. Yeah, she's with the guy, right?
Yeah, sure.
You don't need to explain any more to me. You sold me. Now what I'm gonna do in the future, I got to put my little heart, my little in love emoji right there right by that 4th heart. So I got to change some of my stuff here, but I can do that.
Yeah, and other than that, she wears loads of cute dresses.
Yeah.
So you should definitely check it out. And she's really mysterious, and she's kind of like, you don't really know if she's a bad girl or not in a way. So it's.
Oh, I hope she's a bad girl.
Yeah, well, you'll find out.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I guess Finestro has just thrown down the gauntlet, sort of. He hates marzipan just like he hates.
Me too. I hate it with that much passion as well. I don't know who created that, but they have some kind of psychopath.
Actually, you know what? I don't think I've ever actually had marzipan. Now that I see some pictures of it, I thought I had, but I don't think I did.
Well, if we ever get our little get together here, maybe I can bring some. You know, I'll have
someone can bring marzipan, someone can bring pineapple on pizza, and then I just won't come.
I'll bring pineapple on pizza with Vegemite as a sauce base.
Oh my God!
Stay away.
I can take Vegemite very thinly spread.
Oh yeah, I've got no problem with Vegemite, but it's the pizza part with the pineapple.
Okay, well, anyway, that's our queen right there. She is really pretty, in my opinion. And tomorrow, of course, we're going to do the manga thing still, I guess, aren't we, Angelus? But we're also going to interview Jesse Fisher, and that is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to go check the show notes. Well, I guess Tony, he's already set up the instance. So maybe he is going to be the stream manager. Okay, so anyway, join us for Radio Chaos tomorrow. It's going to be pretty cool. You know, we're going to get to do some really neat stuff tomorrow. We're not only going to go over the manga, but we're going to talk to Jessie, and that is going to be great. And we are going to treat her right too, boy.
How long do we have with her? Should she say?
I don't know anything about it. All I know is I've got my questions, and I can't seem to get anybody to. Oh, do we have a link or not? But if I'm the only one with the questions, I guess I'll have to create a link.
I think you were the one who had the questions to go. If you can think of any more, that would be great. 10's probably enough to stretch it out half an hour anyway, right?
Probably, but I bet Angelus is going to want to ask her some too. You know, and so will Maxie. But what I'll do is I will create the Google Docs. I'll put the link in the group chat, you know, for Radio Chaos, and then folks can go and update it, you know. So
sounds good.
Cool.
Great.
And just in case you don't know, we have a very special birthday on Sunday, or if you're in the future, on Monday. And we're going to have a special Alita live stream. So in 2 days, we're going to go back over Alita's Uwu, and I'm going to put a lot of good Uwu pictures in there.
Wait, why is it on Sunday?
I'm sorry?
What's going on? Why is it not on Saturday?
Because my birthday's on the 15th.
His birthday's on the 15th.
What? But the watch party's on the Sunday and the Monday.
Yeah. Well, Sunday works better for me than Monday, I guess. Or what works best for you, Angelus? Do you want it on the 15th? Because I can.
No, because I'll be working.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so we'll be a day or two in front of his birthday, but that's all right. You know, we'll still do that. But we're gonna go back over Alita's Uwu, and I'm gonna have a lot of pictures on that one. So we'll set that up, and then after we do that, we're gonna go right in and watch Alita Battle Angel for the 70th time for me, I guess. I don't know, or 60th or something like that. So I've already set the instance up. So anyway, it's we're going to do it.
Yeah.
All righty. So that's in 2 days. And be sure to join us if you want. Now, why is this image here? Well, I think we know why it's here, because the Creek likes it.
And he's running the stream.
And he's running the stream. Exactly right, Lee. And to paraphrase Grishka, I am only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And of course, all of us are only here for our girl.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have it. And to wrap it up, I guess, on my count of 3, we'll do our call to action. 1, 2, 3.
Film those sequels,
baby. And we will see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos. We'll see you day after tomorrow on the special Alita live stream, and we'll see you next weekend on the Alita live stream. So TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Take care, guys.
All right, we'll see y'all.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita live stream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.